Buzz, buzz, buzz. The mobile phone resting beside Song Chu-ching, who was presiding over a high-level executive meeting, began to vibrate urgently. Song Chu-ching raised her hand, signaling the subordinate presenting their report to pause. She picked up her phone and walked out of the conference room. "Dad, I'm in a meeting. If you have something to say, make it quick." "Chu-ching, come back immediately. I have something very important to discuss with you." Her father's anxious voice came through the phone. "Dad, what could possibly be more important than company business? Can't you say it over the phone? Do I really have to come back?" Song Chu-ching lowered her voice, sounding somewhat impatient. "This can't be explained over the phone. You must return at once. Even if the company were going bankrupt right now, it wouldn't be as important as this. I'll give you 10 minutes. You must appear before me immediately." Beep, beep, beep. "Dad? Dad? Hello." Before Song Chu-ching could reply, the other party hung up. "Xiao Wei, notify them that the meeting is suspended. Have a helicopter on standby immediately. I'm returning to the manor." "Yes, President Song." After issuing instructions to her secretary, Song Chu-ching returned to the CEO's office to grab her handbag and headed to the rooftop helipad. 6 minutes later, the helicopter landed on the helipad within the Song family estate. Song Chu-ching stepped off the chopper and immediately hurried toward the villa at the rear. "Dad, what is so urgent that you had to make me come back? Say it quickly. I have a lot of matters at the company waiting for me to handle." The moment she walked in, Song Chu-ching cut straight to the chase. "Fine, I won't waste words with you either. Go prepare the betrothal gifts immediately and go to the Chun family to propose. Recruit the Chun family's eldest son, Chun Zong, to become the live-in son-in-law of our Song family." Father Song stood up and replied crisply and directly. "What? Dad, are you crazy? You want me, the dignified daughter of the richest family in Guang province, to humble myself and propose to the lowly Qin family? What right does the Qin family have to marry into ours? Besides, that Qin Zhuang didn't get along with me in college and often bullied me. You want me to take him as a husband? Even if all the men in the world died out and only he and a dog were left, I'd rather choose a different species than him." Hearing her father's words, Song Chu-ching nearly fainted from anger. "Dad, if there's nothing else, I'm going back to the company." Having said that, Song Chu-ching turned around to leave. "Stop right there." Father Song shouted angrily. "Do you know who is backing him? And you just refuse. Him? What powerful background could he possibly have?" Song Chu-ching turned her head, speaking dismissively. "Come sit down first and listen to me. Listen to what I have to say before you decide whether or not to recruit him as a husband." Father Song patted the seat beside him. "Fine, I'll give you 10 minutes to convince me." Song Chu-ching checked the watch on her wrist, then walked over and sat down next to her father, Song Wenxiang. "Your grandmother is still in the hospital. It's hard to say when she'll be discharged, or if she'll ever be discharged at all. And it's still uncertain whether the 40% of the shares she holds will go to our family or your second uncle's family. You know better than anyone how much you've sacrificed to sit in the position of company president. You surely don't want your hard work to be replaced by someone else one day." Song Wenxiang chose his words carefully before speaking. "Dad, what does my getting grandma's shares have to do with recruiting a live-in son-in-law? If you keep beating around the bush, I'm leaving." Song Chu-ching pursed her lips and prepared to stand up. "Sit down." Song Wenxiang pulled the rising Song Chu-ching back into her seat. Song Chu-ching pouted, clearly displeased. "Did you know that the maternal family of this college classmate of yours is the Lin family of the Longting Group in Shangjing, which controls trillions in assets? I just received news that the Lin family's crown prince, who has always been frail and sickly, may not have long to live. The current head of the Lin family, Chun Zhuang's maternal grandfather, has no other children, and Qin Zhuang's mother passed away early. Therefore, Chun Zhuang will be the sole heir to the Longting Group." Song Wenxiang didn't waste any more words this time and said it all in one breath. "Furthermore, I heard that Qin Zhuang did indeed go to Shangjing a few days ago," Song Wenxiang added in a low voice, looking at his somewhat surprised daughter. "I never expected that bastard to be the sole heir of the Shangjing Lin family," Song Chu-ching muttered to herself, recovering from her shock. "That is why Dad hopes you can recruit him as a husband. If we have a connection with the Lin family in the future, wouldn't obtaining the shares in your grandmother's hands be a breeze at the shareholders' meeting?" But Dad, that bastard Chen Zhuang, I really hate him. After thinking it over, Song Chuqing still found it difficult to accept sharing a bed in the future with someone she detested so much. King Ye, I can't count on that good-for-nothing brother of yours. The future of our family relies entirely on you. Surely you don't want to be kicked out of the company by your second uncle in the future. Are you really willing to watch your mother and me end up on the streets at our age? Song Wenxiang held his daughter's hand, looking utterly miserable. Dad, is there really no other way? Song Chuqing looked aggrieved. What other way could there be? Your grandmother already favors your second uncle's family. If not for your outstanding ability, we probably would have been kicked off the board of directors long ago. Song Wenxiang sighed. King Ye, just do it for Mom and Dad, for the sake of this family. At worst, once we get the shares, you could divorce Chen Zhuang. Song Wenxiang took his daughter's hand again, his eyes filled with pleading. Fine. All right, daughter, you agreed. That's wonderful. Go prepare the betrothal gifts right now, and go to the Chun family to propose immediately. Song Wenxiang beamed with joy instantly. Dad, isn't this too rushed? At least let me go back and mentally prepare myself. Song Chuqing was stunned, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. We can't wait any longer, lest things change and someone else beats us to it. By the way, Chen Zhuang hasn't had a good life in the Chun family these past years. Ever since his mother passed away, his father brought his mistress home, along with a pair of children. It's likely that his mother's death was caused by the anger of finding out his father had a mistress outside. Also, the Chen family's company has run into some minor trouble recently. This is the perfect time to show goodwill. Song Wenxiang casually mentioned Chen Zhuang's family affairs. Therefore, offering help in a time of crisis is always more touching than adding icing on the cake. If you wait until he goes to the capital to try and climb the social ladder then, I'm afraid you won't stand a chance. Song Wenxiang analyzed the Chun family's current situation, hoping Song Chuqing would understand the pros and cons and make a decision quickly. Fine then, Chen Zhuang, you oppose me at every turn in school, so I'll marry you and bring you home to torture you slowly. Chen Zhuang, oh Chen Zhuang, you probably never imagined you'd fall into my hands one day. Song Chuqing remained silent for a long time, a sinister smile appearing on her face. Chuqing? Chuqing, huh? Song Wenxiang called out several times before Song Chuqing snapped back to reality. Are you all right, daughter? Dad, I'm Fine. I'm with the Chun family to propose right now. Don't worry, I will definitely bring Chen Zhuang home as my husband. After speaking, Song Chuqing stood up and walked toward the door. Remember to take the betrothal gifts. Don't worry, Dad. Make sure they are generous. I know. Song Chuqing waved to Song Wenxiang behind her as she stepped out of the house. Miss, upon exiting, Song Chuqing, intending to get her car, saw over a dozen bodyguards holding ready-made betrothal gifts. Preparing so much. Asking me to prepare too. That's giving that bastard way too much face. Song Chuqing walked up to a bodyguard, picked up a blue and white porcelain vase from tray, looked at it, and muttered, "Take all these things back." Song Chuqing put the vase back and issued the order. Miss, these are the betrothal gifts the master prepared for your proposal. Don't you think? How could these things possibly be worthy of my husband's status? I will prepare the gifts for him myself. Song Chuqing glanced back at the bodyguard who had spoken. Yes, miss. You don't need to follow me. I'll go by myself. After saying this, Song Chuqing got into a white Maserati Grand Cabrio, started the engine, and drove out of the Song family estate. 2. The conspiracy behind the fake watch. Halfway to the Chan family's house, Song Chuqing suddenly pulled the car over to the side of the road, looking at a roadside stall with a mischievous smirk on her face. Miss, which one do you like? I can give you a discount. Song Chuqing approached the stall, looking at the various high-imitation fake luxury watches before her. Just this one? How much? Song Chuqing pointed to one of the fake watches on the table. Miss, you have great taste. This one has the finest craftsmanship. It can absolutely pass for genuine. No one will be able to tell it's a fake. Usually I sell it for 800, but today, WeChat Pay received 800 yuan. Wrap it up for me. Before the vendor could finish his pitch, Song Chuqing had already scanned the code and paid. Okay. The boss was stunned for a moment, then hurriedly recovered, carefully packing the watch in a box and handing it to Song Chuqing. I'll start by taking you down a peg. It won't be that easy to be Song Chuqing's man. Song Chuqing took the watch, returned to her car, casually tossed it onto the passenger seat, and drove off toward the Chun family home. Song Chuqing had just brought her car to a halt when a fleet of luxury vehicles swept past her and stopped in front of the Chun residence. Sitting inside her car, Song Chuqing furrowed her brows. A dozen bodyguards in black emerged swiftly from the convoy, carrying an array of high-end gifts. Once the bodyguards had formed a line, a woman stepped leisurely out of the lead vehicle. "Futsi, what is she doing at the Chun house?" Song Chuqing muttered to herself, blinking in surprise as she recognized the woman. "Wait, unless she's also..." Suddenly realizing something, Song Chuqing hurriedly opened her door and got out, grabbing the watch from the passenger seat as she went. "Miss, I'll go tell the Chins to come out and welcome you immediately." "Go ahead." Having received permission, the assistant beside Fu Ziyi entered the Chun family gates. "Fu Ziyi, what brings you to the Chun residence?" Song Chuqing quickened her pace to approach Fu Ziyi. Hearing the voice, Fu Ziyi removed her sunglasses and glanced back. "I wonder who that was. If it isn't President Song. And what brings you to the Chun residence?" Fu Ziyi retorted with a faint smile, glancing at Song Chuqing. I'm here to discuss business with the head of the Chun family, of course. I can't very well admit I'm here to propose marriage. If word got out that a daughter of one of Guang province's top families ran over to propose to a third-rate, insignificant household, I'd become the laughingstock of the province." Song Chuqing stammered her reply, adding the internal monologue silently. "Oh, I'm also here to speak with the head of the house. About something wonderful, in fact." Fu Ziyi picked up the keys to a Porsche 918 from a tray held by a nearby bodyguard, dangling them in front of Song Chuqing with a raised eyebrow. "With all these expensive gifts, what exactly are you planning?" Although Song Chuqing was fairly certain of Fu Ziyi's intentions, she wanted to hear the admission from the woman herself. Our families are both among the top 3 in Guang province. Whatever intelligence you received, I naturally received as well. As for who secures the marriage alliance with the Chins today, that will depend on our own abilities. All right, since we're both here, I imagine the one from the Hua family will be arriving soon, too. I noticed you came empty-handed today. Let me give you a piece of advice. Go back and prepare some gifts. With that, Fu Ziyi put her sunglasses back on. "You, Miss Fu, my apologies, my deepest apologies. I had no idea you would be gracing my humble home with your presence. Please forgive my lack of a proper welcome. Please forgive me." Just as Song Chuqing was about to speak, several people jogged out of the Chin villa. Leading them was the patriarch, Chun Guodong, his face heaped with smiles as he began apologizing to Fu Ziyi from a distance. "You are too serious, Mr. Chun. I have come today to propose marriage to your son. I hope you will agree to let him marry into the Fu family. These are the betrothal gifts I offer to the Chun family." Fu Ziyi spoke directly, pointing to the valuable items behind her. Fu Ziyi's words left Chun Guodong and those around him completely dumbfounded. Miss Fu, are you serious?" Chun Guodong quickly recovered his wits and asked cautiously in a low voice. "Do you think the eldest daughter of the Fu family would joke about her own reputation?" Fu Ziyi retorted. No, you misunderstand, Miss Fu. I just can't believe that my Chun family could one day become in-laws with the Fu family, one of Guang province's top 3 dynasties." Chun Guodong waved his hands repeatedly in explanation. "There is no need for such surprise. I can tell you explicitly that this is all real. Just tell me, do you agree or not?" Fu Ziyi asked imperiously. I agree, of course I agree. For my son to catch your eye and marry into the Fu family is a blessing our family has cultivated for 3 lifetimes. How could I possibly disagree?" Chun Guodong hurriedly voiced his assent, beaming with joy. Beside him, Mrs. Chun and their son and daughter were also grinning from ear to ear. "Wait a minute." Song Chuqing shoved Fu Ziyi aside and stepped forward. "Mr. Chun, I am Song Chuqing of the Song Group. I, too, have come to the Chun family today to propose marriage to your son. You had better consider carefully whether you choose her or me." Song Chuqing glanced at Fu Ziyi, then looked sternly at Chun Guodong. The Song Group, Song Chuqing, the president of Song Group, the second young miss of the Song family. Chun Guodong swallowed hard, looking shocked once again. Which goddess was watching over the Chun family today? Or was their ancestral grave truly emitting green smoke? To think that the daughters of two of Guang province's top families would personally come to his door to propose marriage. The one and only, Song Chuqing smirked, glancing at Fu Zi out of the corner of her eye. Song Chuqing, you show up to propose marriage empty-handed? Have you no shame? Fu Zi rolled her eyes at Song Chuqing. Who says I came empty-handed? Saying this, Song Chuqing reached into her handbag, but froze almost immediately. The members of the Chun family widened their eyes, staring intently at Song Chuqing's hand inside the bag, eager to know what eye-catching betrothal gift the Song family would produce this time. What? Don't tell me you forgot to bring it. Even if you did forget, what kind of expensive item could fit in a handbag like that? Seeing Song Chuqing hesitate to take anything out, Fu Zi sneered. So what if I forgot? With my Song family status, can't I just owe it for now and make it up later? Song Chuqing took her hand out of her bag and retorted defiantly. Right, your Song family is powerful and influential. Who would dare say no? But the Chun family is just a small, powerless family in Guangdong. If you take the person away and the Song family denies it later, what can the Chun family do to you? Fu Zi put on an act of feeling sorry for the Chun family, a look of pity appearing on her face. Fu Zi, stop trying to drive a wedge between us. The Song family would never go back on its word. Seeing that the Chun family was clearly swayed by Fu Zi's words, Song Chuqing hurriedly spoke up. Fine. Then let the head of the Chun family decide who he is willing to form a marriage alliance with. Fu Zi revealed a look of assured victory, crossing her arms and waiting for Chun Guodong's decision. Damn it, I actually forgot that Fu Zi would also be coming to propose to Chen Zhuang. I originally wanted to assert dominance over Chen Zhuang, but now this has become a weakness for Fu Zi to mock me. Fu Zi, I'm not done with you. Song Chuqing glared viciously at Fu Zi, mentally calculating various ways to deal with her in the future. President Song, I'm sorry. Everything has a first-come, first-served order. Miss Fu came first, so I can only accept Miss Fu. Don't misunderstand. I'm definitely not refusing you, because Miss Fu's betrothal gifts are more valuable. After considering it again and again, Chun Guodong chose Fu Zi. President Song, there's nothing left for you here now. You can go back. I need to discuss wedding details with my future father-in-law and husband. It will be a bit superfluous for you to stay. Fu Zi turned around, speaking smugly with the air of a victor. Fu Zi, Song Chuqing clenched her fists, her knuckles turning white from the force. Wait, Song Chuqing is out, but I, Hua Qingdai, am not. My Hua family betrothal gifts are no worse than your Fu family's. Just then, a team of bodyguards in black and a woman walked over from not far away. The battle of the three great families for a son-in-law. Hua Qingdai, you're late. The Chen family head has already agreed to have his son marry into my Fu family. You and Song Chuqing should just go back together. Fu Zi turned back, her eyes full of anger. Haven't you heard that the best dishes are worth waiting for? Master Chun, it's not too late to decide after seeing my Hua family's gifts. Bring them up. Hua Qingdai waved her hand, and the bodyguard behind her brought the gifts before Chun Guodong. Chun Guodong and his family of four stared at the gifts, their eyes glowing greedily. Besides the usual real estate, gold, luxury cars, and famous watches, the Hua family is also willing to offer 5% of the Hua Group's shares as a betrothal gift. Saying this, Hua Qingdai took a contract from a bodyguard behind her. As long as Master Chen agrees to let your son marry into the Hua family, this 5% of Hua shares will be transferred to young Master Chen's name immediately. Hua Qingdai opened the contract and displayed it to the group. That quick, say yes. Hubby, hurry up and agree to Miss Hua. Seeing Hua Qingdai's gifts, the greedy light in Mrs. Chun and her son's eyes was even more intense than before. Chun Guodong, however, was momentarily stunned. Having the three great wealthy families of Guangdong province come to propose at the same time gave him a sense of unreality. Hua Qingdai, you're actually offering 5% of Hua shares? Does your grandfather know? Don't you be scamming Master Chun? Fu Zi also couldn't quite believe it. She blinked and stepped forward. This was given by my grandfather. Hua Qingdai closed the contract, handed it to the bodyguard, and said with the corners of her mouth slightly raised, Master Chun, if you're willing to let your son marry into our Fu family, we are also willing to offer 5% of our shares as a betrothal gift. Fu Ziyi turned around to fight for it. Song Chuqing, who had been silent on the side, felt her pupils constrict. She looked at Fu Ziyi in disbelief, then at Hua Qingdai. Are these two crazy? 5% of the shares is worth at least several billion, and they're just giving it away. And to that big scoundrel Chen Zhuang, of all people. What gives him the right? Song Chuqing cursed silently. This, Chen Guodong looked at Hua Qingdai's gifts, then at Fu Zi's gifts. The only one he didn't spare a glance for was Song Chuqing standing to the side. Song Chuqing had never been treated like this before. She gnashed her teeth in fury. It's just a contest of wealth. Who has the Song family ever feared in Guang province? Wait, Patriarch Chun, if you ally with my Song family, I will not only offer shares, but also give him the position of vice president of the Song Corporation. I hope you will reconsider carefully. Gritting her teeth and stomping her foot, Song Chuqing rushed forward to make her case once more. Well, Chen Guodong looked from one to the other, momentarily caught in a dilemma. He couldn't afford to offend any one of these three wealthy families. Patriarch Chun, there is no need to be troubled. Since you cannot make a decision, why not let your noble son decide his own marriage? I, Hua Qingdai, give you my word today, regardless of whether young Master Chun chooses me, I will bear no grudge against the Chun family in the future. Hua Qingdai stepped forward and suggested. That's a good proposal. I agree. Fu Zi clapped her hands in agreement. No. Song Chuqing hurriedly stepped forward to stop them, a look of nervousness appearing on her face. If Chen Zhuang gets to decide, that bastard definitely won't pick me. I absolutely cannot let him choose for himself. As long as I get Chen Guodong to agree and accept the Song family's betrothal gifts, the engagement will be set. Once the deal is done, Chen Zhuang will have to agree whether he likes it or not. Song Chuqing calculated silently. What's the matter? Does President Song lack confidence in herself? Hua Qingdai looked Song Chuqing up and down with a faint smile. Who says I lack confidence? Song Chuqing puffed out her chest, refusing to yield. Then why are you afraid to let the young master of the Chun family choose for himself? Fu Zi questioned. I think Miss Hua has a point. After all, marriage is no trifling matter. It is safer to let my son decide for himself. If I were to choose someone he didn't like, wouldn't that be doing a disservice to you three ladies in the future? These three are all heiresses of wealthy families. Marrying any one of them would be beneficial and harmless to my Qin family. President Song, it is now 2 against 1. The minority obeys the majority. You lose. Patriarch Chun, let the young master make his choice now. Hua Qingdai revealed a hint of triumph. Song Chuqing had no choice but to drop it and leave it to fate. All right. Son, hurry, you choose. Which young lady do you like the best? As he spoke, Chen Guodong, his face beaming with a smile, pushed the son beside him toward the three beauties. Beside them, Mrs. Chun and the Chun family daughter also wore uncontrollable smiles. However, upon seeing the Chun family son being pushed forward by Chen Guodong, the three wealthy heiresses looked utterly astonished and glanced at one another. Who is he? Who is he? Just as the Chun family son was rubbing his hands together and scrutinizing the three beauties before him, the three women questioned Chen Guodong in unison. Seeing the strange looks in the three beauties' eyes, the smiles on the faces of the 4 Chun family members instantly stiffened. I am the young master of the Chun family, the one you want to marry. Yes. 3 young ladies, this is my son, Chen Ziyu. Aren't you here to recruit him as a son-in-law? Is there a problem? Chen Guodong hurriedly stepped forward to explain. Chen Ziyu. The 3 beauties spoke in unison once again. Patriarch Chun, are you joking with me? I don't know about those 2, but the person I, Hua Qingdai, want to marry is Chen Zhuang, not this Chun. Whatever. Ziyu, bring Chen Zhuang out immediately. Stop trying to fool me with an impostor, Hua Qingdai said with a look of anger. Correct. I also came today to propose to Chen Zhuang, not him. Where's Chen Zhuang? Me too. The other two beauties also stepped forward to declare their objective. What? Chen Zhuang? The one you want to recruit as a live-in son-in-law is Chen Zhuang. Chen Zhuang is just a piece of trash waiting to die. Why would you choose him over me? Hearing the three beauties' words, Chen Ziyu clearly lost his rationality, daring to roar in front of the three women. Smack! Sure enough, in the next second, Chen Ziyu received a slap from Hua Qingdai. Is my Hua Qingdai's future husband someone you can belittle and slander? If you dare spout nonsense again, believe me, I will have you crippled. Hua Qingdai's words scared Chen Ziyu into covering his face and hurriedly retreating behind Mrs. Chen, wearing a look of grievance. Miss Hua, please calm your anger. Xiaoyu doesn't know how to speak properly. Please don't lower yourself to his level. But why would you take a fancy to that little? Take a fancy to him? Actually, Xiaoyu is quite good too, why don't you? Patriarch Chen, if you don't hand over Chen Zhuang this instant, do you believe I can make the Chen family disappear from Guang province immediately? Before Chen Guodong could finish, Fu Zi interrupted impatiently with a threat. You? All right, I'll send someone to call him right now. Chen Guodong gnashed his teeth in anger, but dared not flare up. He could only lower his head and let out a sigh, looking like a deflated balloon. Go get that little bastard out here. Yes, sir. Chen Guodong turned and ordered the servant. Dad, why does he deserve this? You shut up. Chen Ziyu remained indignant and wanted to fight for his own happiness a bit more, but a sharp rebuke from Chen Guodong scared him into backing down. After a good while, the servant returned, leading Chen Zhuang, who strolled out slowly wearing a loose tank top, baggy shorts, and flip-flops, his hair a bit messy. It's scorching hot out. What did you call me out for? Chen Zhuang arrived behind them and spoke lazily. You scoundrel, come over here and greet the three young ladies. Seeing Chen Zhuang's appearance, Chen Guodong actually felt a surge of joy in his heart. However, on the surface, he still put on an angry front. I don't believe these three young ladies could possibly be interested in a Chen Zhuang like this. Chen Guodong muttered inwardly, the corners of his mouth twitching upwards slightly. What young ladies? Let me see. Chen Zhuang shoved aside Chen Ziyu, who was blocking his way, and stepped forward. So, you're the ones looking for me? What is it? Spit it out. I need to go back and catch up on sleep once we're done. Chen Zhuang cast a casual glance at the three women before him, yawning as he spoke. 4. Fakes beat real gold. Chen Zhuang, I am Hua Qingdai of the Hua family. You should have heard of me. Today, I have come to propose marriage to you. I want you to marry into the Hua family and become my husband. These are the betrothal gifts from my family. Hua Qingdai stepped forward first to introduce herself and state her purpose. Move aside. I am Fu Zi of the Fu family, and also the president of the Fu group. I have also come to propose to you. I hope you can marry into the Fu family and be my man. These are the betrothal gifts from my family. It was prepared in a rush. If there is anything you want, as long as money can buy it, I will get it for you. Fu Zi pushed Hua Qingdai aside and stepped forward to demonstrate her sincerity. What is going on? They're actually interested in him like this? Are these three heiresses blind? Seeing the two women from the Hua and Fu families stepping forward to compete, Chen Guodong, his wife, and their two children, who had been ready to watch a train wreck, all revealed looks of disbelief, glancing at one another. And you? Chen Zhuang glanced casually at the betrothal gifts from the first two, neither accepting nor rejecting them, and instead walked towards Song Chuqing. He bent slightly at the waist, tilting his head to look at Song Chuqing, who was looking down and playing with her fingers. Hearing Chen Zhuang's question, Song Chuqing bit her lip, then looked up, feigning an air of indifference. I'm also here to propose to you. I forgot to prepare betrothal gifts. After speaking, Song Chuqing turned her head away. So it's Miss Song. You want me to marry into the Song family without any betrothal gifts? Chen Zhuang looked Song Chuqing up and down. As long as you're willing, I'll make it up to you later. Bastard. Just wait until the day is over. I'll show you. Song Chuqing kept her head turned, refusing to look at Chen Zhuang. Chen Zhuang, pick one of three of us, Fu Zi reminded him. Chen Zhuang didn't reply. After glancing at Song Chuqing, he walked over to the lavish betrothal gifts and casually picked up a car key. Maybach. Nice car. Putting down the car key, Chun Zuong walked over to a bodyguard and picked up a property deed from a tray. Ban Mu Fan Tang Villa. Prime location. Wow, Yuan Dynasty blue and white porcelain. Chun Zuong tossed aside the deed and picked up the porcelain piece next to it. After admiring the gifts, Chun Zuong walked back to Song Chuqing. Seeing her clutching her handbag tightly with both hands, he smiled faintly. Take it out. Chun Zuong extended his hand. Take what out? Song Chuqing pressed the bag even tighter. My betrothal gift. Saying this, without waiting for Song Chuqing's consent, Chun Zuong snatched the bag from her hands. Give it back. Song Chuqing hurriedly tried to grab it, but Chun Zuong held the bag high. She tried to snatch it back several times, but failed. Let me see what kind of surprise Miss Song has prepared for me. After speaking, Chun Zuong opened Song Chuqing's bag. Don't. Chun Zuong pulled out the fake luxury watch Song Chuqing had bought at a roadside stall. Here's your bag back. Chun Zuong tossed the bag to Song Chuqing. Wow, don't tell me Miss Song bought this watch on the side of the road. Giggle. To the side, the women from the Fu and Hua families couldn't help but laugh when they saw the watch in the box Chun Zuong had opened. So what if it is? Can I buy it for fun? I'm not used to wearing authentic goods. I just like fakes, okay. Give it back to me. Song Chuqing glared fiercely at Chun Zuong and stepped forward to snatch it, but Chun Zuong dodged out of the way. Isn't this the betrothal gift you gave me? Saying this, Chun Zuong tossed the box aside and strapped the watch onto his wrist. Chun Zuong, what is the meaning of this? Hua Qingdai demanded angrily as she watched him put on the counterfeit watch. Isn't it obvious? I choose her, Chun Zuong replied, pointing at Song Chuqing, whose face was flushed red. This sudden pleasant surprise left Song Chuqing stunned. Chun Zuong, that's nothing but a fake. If you choose me, you can have your pick of any authentic luxury watch in the world. Choose me, and I can commission a custom private luxury watch for you. The two women, Hua and Fu, stepped forward one after another. I appreciate the kind offers, ladies, but I still prefer this fake one. You, ladies, business here is concluded. Please see yourselves out. Chun Zuong issued the dismissal. Chun Zuong, you better think this through. Ladies, he is now my, Song Chuqing's, fiancé. If you continue to pester him, don't blame me for being ruthless. Having snapped back to reality, Song Chuqing saw the Hua and Fu women about to try again, so she hurriedly stepped in front of Chun Zuong to block them, issuing a threat. Song Chuqing, don't get too smug. Let's go. The two women cast cold glares, turned around, and left with their retinues. Fiancé, when shall we consummate the marriage? Chun Zuong grabbed Song Chuqing, who was facing away from him, and spun her around to face him. You dirty pervert. Song Chuqing shoved Chun Zuong away, took 2 steps back, and cursed at him. You proposed to me, and I accepted. Isn't the next step holding the wedding and entering the bridal chamber? I didn't say anything wrong. In 7 days, I will come to marry you. With that, Song Chuqing walked briskly toward her car. Wifey, I'll be all washed up and smelling nice waiting for you to come marry me. Behind her, Chun Zuong's words nearly made Song Chuqing stumble. You little bastard. You refused all those betrothal gifts from the Hua and Fu families. Yet you insist on choosing the Song family, who offered nothing. What are you trying to do? Watching Song Chuqing's car drive away, Chun Guodong questioned him, flustered and exasperated. Why? So you could pocket those gifts and leave them to you and this bastard born of a mistress. Chun Zuong pointed at Chun Ziyu, who stood nearby looking indignant. Hearing Chun Zuong's words, Chun Ziyu became even more furious. You little bastard, I'll beat you to death. As he spoke, Chun Guodong began to unbuckle his belt. Chun Guodong, think this through carefully. I am now the son-in-law of the Song family. If I so much as graze my skin before the wedding, do you think the Song family will let you off the hook? With that, Chun Zuong walked toward the house. Little mongrel, stop coveting things that don't belong to you. As he passed Chun Ziyu, Chun Zuong paused to speak. You. Chun Ziyu was so angry his outstretched finger trembled slightly. But before he could speak, Chun Zuong had already entered the house. Song, what's wrong? Mrs. Chun hurriedly stepped forward to support her son, who was teetering on the verge of collapse. Shen Zhuang's mother had been with Chen Guodong back in the day, though the Lin family had strongly disapproved. The two had started from nothing, but after they became wealthy, Chen Guodong developed a wandering eye and kept a mistress on the side. When Shen Zhuang's mother found out, she argued with Chen Guodong daily, eventually dying of a broken heart. 3 months after his mother passed away, Chen Guodong brought the mistress home. He also brought back a son and a daughter. Consequently, Chen Zhuang and his father, Chen Guodong, had always been at odds. "Husband, look how angry that little bastard has made Xiaoyu. Why don't you just kick him out?" Back in their room, Mrs. Chun began to complain to Chen Guodong. 5. The battle of the wedding photos. He has always believed that I caused his mother's death. He probably even has the heart to kill me. Of course, I want to kick him out of the house. But he still holds 30% of the company's shares. If we don't get the shares from his hands, we will lose control of the company. Chen Guodong sighed, speaking helplessly. "That bitch. To think she went behind your back and gave her shares to that little bastard right before she died." Mrs. Chun gnashed her teeth in hatred and slammed her fist onto the table. Song Chuqing returned to the Song family villa fuming with rage and tossed her bag casually onto the sofa. "Jerk! You big jerk!" Song Chuqing grabbed a plush bear nearby, punching it vigorously as she cursed. "What's wrong? What happened?" Hearing the commotion, Song Wenxiang hurriedly walked out of his room, accompanied by Song Chuqing's brother, Song Mubai. Did the Chun family refuse? That shouldn't be. I investigated them. The Chen family's company has been going downhill for years, falling from a company worth hundreds of millions to a small company worth only tens of millions. For the Song family to extend an olive branch at a time like this, the Chen family should be shedding tears of gratitude. "Chuqing, what exactly is the situation? Say something, will you?" Song Wenxiang asked urgently. "Dad, the Chen family is nothing. How dare they refuse a marriage alliance with our Song family? I'll have them blacklisted and make them vanish from Guangdong province," Song Mubai interjected. "Shut your mouth. If you were even the least bit competent, I wouldn't have to lower myself to recruiting a live-in son-in-law for your sister. When your grandmother gave each of you siblings 3 projects, you managed to lose money on 2 of them. If Chuqing hadn't ultimately outperformed your second uncle's family, the position of company president would have gone to them long ago. Stop causing trouble for me. Just focus on being the spoiled, eldest young master of the Song family." Seeing his disappointing son made Song Wenxiang furious, and he turned to give Song Mubai a harsh scolding. "Dad, how can you say that? I was just—" "Enough, stop arguing." He agreed. Song Chuqing interrupted them impatiently. He agreed. "Good, good, good. I knew it. My daughter is a natural beauty with unmatched ability. What man could possibly refuse her advances?" Song Wenxiang, who had been fuming just moments ago, instantly beamed with joy. "So, when are you planning to hold the wedding? We can't drag this out. We need to avoid any complications," Song Wenxiang asked cautiously after calming himself down. "I promised them it would be in 7 days, Song Chuqing said, still looking depressed. "Qing'er, Dad has no other choice. I know it's unfair to you. If you don't like this Chun kid, you could divorce him after the wedding once we get the shares from your grandmother." Seeing his daughter's unhappiness and assuming she was angry about the forced marriage, Song Wenxiang tried to console her. "We'll see. I'm going back to the office." With that, Song Chuqing stood up. "Spend some time getting to know the Chun kid over the next few days. Don't worry about the wedding arrangements. I'll have your brother handle them. We'll make sure it's a grand ceremony. Do whatever you want." As she spoke, Song Chuqing walked out the door. 3 days later. "Hello, who is this?" Shun Zhuang, who was in the middle of playing a video game, suddenly received a call from an unknown number. "It's me, Song Chuqing." "Oh, so it's my fiancé. Miss me already?" Shen Zhuang teased it. Shun Zhuang cut the cheek. "I need to talk to you. Do you have time today?" Sitting in her office chair, Song Chuqing rolled her eyes, even though he couldn't see her. "Sure do. Then later, let's go. Let's go get our marriage license and take our wedding photos while we're at it." After saying this, Song Chuqing covered her burning cheeks with her hand. "All right, I'll listen to you this time. Come pick me up. I'll send you the location. You come here yourself," Song Chuqing said, suppressing the urge to explode with rage. "I haven't even married into the Song family yet, and you're already trying to show me who's boss?" Forget it then. If you don't come pick me up, I'm not going. Saying this, Chun Zuong made to hang up the phone. Wait. Fine, I will come. Pick you up. Song Chuching replied through gritted teeth. Waiting for you, darling. Song Chuching furiously pressed the hang-up button and slammed her phone onto the desk. Bastard. I'm here. Hurry up and get your ass out here. Song Chuching called Chun Zuong from outside the Chun residence, sounding annoyed. Coming. Chun Zuong took his time, changing his clothes and checking himself in the mirror. So handsome. You're getting such a bargain with this peerless face. After boasting to his reflection, Chun Zuong finally headed out. Are you a woman? What took you so long? The moment Chun Zuong got into Song Chuching's car, she snapped at him. If you didn't want to wait, you could have left. It's not like I forced you to wait for me. Chun Zuong replied while fastening his seatbelt. You. Song Chuching gripped the steering wheel until it creaked, took a deep breath, and started the car to drive away. After the two obtained their marriage license, they went to a bridal shop. Move over. Take a few sets of solo shots of me first. Chun Zuong pushed Song Chuching, who was standing next to him, aside and struck a pose he thought looked handsome. Asshole narcissist. Furious, Song Chuching cursed him under her breath before walking over to the rest area to sit down. Chun Zuong finally stopped after changing through several outfits, leaving the photographer somewhat speechless. Usually, it was the women who cared so much about their appearance and wanted extra solo shots. But today he had encountered someone as vain as Chun Zuong. Sir, could you pose as if you were proposing to the lady? Let's take another set. The photographer instructed the pair. What? You want me to propose to her? You might not have the situation clear. She is the one taking a husband, not me taking a wife. I'm the live-in son-in-law, so she should be the one proposing to me, right? Hearing Chun Zuong's words, both the cameraman and Song Chuching were left speechless. Chun Zuong, have you no shame? Even if you were marrying into my family, I'm a girl. You should be the one proposing. Song Chuching rubbed her forehead and glared at Chun Zuong. Who says the man has to be the one to propose? Besides, I seem to recall that you were the one begging me to marry into your family, weren't you? Cut the crap. I'm dead set on shooting this proposal pose today, and you have to satisfy me. Chun Zuong crossed his arms and turned his head away, acting like a petulant woman. Dream on. I wouldn't propose to you if I died. Fine. Then let's forget about the wedding photos today. We can go get a divorce right now. If you don't want to propose, Hu Qing Dai and Fu Zi are dying for the chance. As he spoke, Chun Zuong started taking off his suit jacket, preparing to leave. How can you be such a scoundrel? Song Chuching clenched her fists in rage, looking like she wanted to flay Chun Zuong alive. Are you going to propose or not? If not, I'm going to find someone else. Chun Zuong pointed at the door with a smug look. I will propose. Song Chuching gritted her teeth, glaring at Chun Zuong as she forced the words out one by one. I knew it. My wife still loves me. Chun Zuong reached out and patted Song Chuching's head with a smile. Get lost. Love you, my ass. Just wait until we're married. I'll show you who's boss. Song Chuching slapped Chun Zuong's hand away and glared at him viciously. Taking the prop diamond ring from the photographer, she took a deep breath and reluctantly got down on one knee in front of Chun Zuong. Ma'am, you can relax a bit. Give us a smile. Seeing Song Chuching's expression of deep bitterness and hatred, the photographer cautiously reminded her. I can't smile. Song Chuching looked up at the smug Chun Zuong, her eyes filled with murderous intent. Wife, think carefully. I plan to hang this photo above our bed and even make a poster of it for the wedding venue. Are you sure this is how you want to look? Chun Zuong bent down slightly, holding Song Chuching's chin as he smiled faintly. Bastard, you wouldn't dare. Just watch me. Smile or don't smile. It's up to you. Chun Zuong straightened up. Chun Zuong, all you do is bully me. You bullied me when we were in school, and you're still bullying me now. Suddenly, Song Chuching spoke with a sob in her voice. Don't try that with me. Everyone's watching. I haven't bullied you. Chun Zuong hurriedly explained to the crowd. Sir, maybe you should be the one to propose after all. No way. I'm the one marrying into her family. She has to be the one to propose. Chun Zuong objected without hesitation. Ma'am, look, I'll do it fine. You really aren't a man. You don't know how to treat a lady at all, Song Chuching sniffled. Little punk, You think I can't see through your little tricks? Trying to play the victim to force me to kneel? Not a chance. Chen Zhuang's lips curled up slightly as he muttered in his heart. 4 days later, today was the big day for Song Chuqing to take Chen Zhuang as her husband. A mighty fleet of 21 luxury cars worth tens of millions carried the couple into the Song family estate. The wedding was not held at a high-end hotel, but within the Song estate. The estate covered over 10 acres, with a villa that could be called a castle. Holding the wedding here would likely better reflect the Song family's status and power. The wedding car stopped at the castle entrance. Song Chuqing, wearing traditional Chinese wedding attire, got out first. "What are you doing?" "We're here. Why aren't you getting out?" Song Chuqing looked back at Chen Zhuang, who was still sitting in the car with his eyes closed, resting. Chen Zhuang opened his eyes. Instead of getting out, he extended a hand and beckoned with his finger. "What do you mean?" Song Chuqing glanced at the surrounding friends and family and asked in a low voice. "The getting off the car fee." "Getting off the car fee?" Song Chuqing nearly collapsed from anger. She shouted out, then hurriedly covered her mouth. "Brides are the ones who get a getting off the car fee. You're a grown man. Why would you need one? Everyone is watching. Get out here quickly. Don't make a scene and embarrass us." Song Chuqing leaned in, whispering with a hint of pleading. "I may be a man, but I'm marrying into the Song family. You're taking a husband, not me taking a wife. You need to get your roles straight. Is there a problem with me asking for a getting off the car fee?" Chen Zhuang said loudly to those outside the car. "You." The surrounding friends and relatives began whispering among themselves like they were watching a joke, and Song Chuqing was so embarrassed she wanted to find a hole in the ground to crawl into. "Zhuang, my apologies. That was an oversight on our part. Tell us, how much do you want for the getting off the car fee?" Song Wenxiang hurriedly stepped forward with an apologetic smile. "Dad, why should we give him a fee? He's a grown man." "That's enough." Song Wenxiang glared at his daughter, then turned back to look at Chen Zhuang with a smile. Ordinary families usually like the number 1 in 10,000 when they get married. 10,001, right? I'll give it to you right now. Before Chen Zhuang could finish speaking, Song Wenxiang pulled a red envelope from his pocket. Wait. I haven't finished speaking yet. Ordinary families do 1 in 10,000, but you Songs are a wealthy clan in Guang province. Anyone who says a son-in-law of a wealthy family is 1 in 10,000 would be slapping you in the face. How could your family's son-in-law be merely 1 in 10,000? Even 1 in 100,000 would be belittling him. At the very least, I must be a 1 in a million son-in-law. So, asking for 10 million and 1 yuan as a getting off the car gift should be fitting for the Song family status, right? After saying this, Chen Zhuang held up one finger. 10 million. The Song father and daughter exclaimed in shock simultaneously. Did I ask for too little? Did I look down on the Song family? How about 1 in 100 million? Chen Zhuang feigned an expression of having misspoken. No. 1 in 10 million is already very good, very good. Dad, how can you agree to this? He's just. Enough. Say no more. Does the Song family's son-in-law not deserve to be 1 in 10 million? Song Wenxiang interrupted his daughter and accepted this sky-high, getting off the car fee. Transfer the money then. WeChat or Alipay. Chen Zhuang took out his phone and shook it in front of him. Anything works. Chen Zhuang quickly opened his payment code. Beep. Alipay received 10 million and 1 yuan. Chen Zhuang checked his phone and accepted it happily. Can you get off the car now? Song Chuqing said huffily. I still can't get off this car. Chen Zhuang, don't go too far. What exactly do you want to do? Chen Zhuang's answer gave Song Chuqing the urge to go up and strangle the bastard, but reason prevailed, allowing her to suppress the impulse in her heart. Where are the betrothal gifts you promised me? Why don't I see them? Chen Zhuang poked his head out and looked around as he asked. Isn't 10 million enough? That was the getting off the car gift. Who said that was the betrothal gift? I won't waste words with you. Luxury cars, brand name watches, a big villa. I'll pick those out myself tomorrow. Right now, bring out the 18 gold pieces immediately, plus a betrothal gift of 88 million. Otherwise, I'm not getting off this car today. Showdown on the wedding night. As he spoke, Chen Zhuang prepared to close the car door. Are you getting married or selling your body? Also, I've heard of the 3 golds or 5 golds, but when have I ever heard of 18 golds? You're clearly just being unreasonable. Song Chuching hurriedly held the car door to refute him. I don't care about others. I want 18 golds. Otherwise, take me back exactly how you brought me here. I don't believe that outside of your Song family, I can't find anyone else to marry into as a live-in husband. Chen Zhuang pushed Song Chuching's hand off the car door. Wait, my good son-in-law. I'll have someone prepare the 18 golds right away, and I'll transfer the betrothal money to you now, too. Song Wenxiang agreed once again. Dad, aren't you being too? So many people are watching. Do you want our Song family to lose face in front of everyone? Song Wenxiang pulled his daughter aside and reminded her in a low voice. All right, I'll wait. Song Wenxiang transferred another 88 million to Chen Zhuang as the betrothal gift. After the betrothal money was paid in full, Song Wenxiang ordered his subordinates to prepare the 18 golds immediately. The Song family's power was indeed impressive. In less than 20 minutes, 18 glittering gold ornaments were delivered to the Song family estate. Good son-in-law, take a look. Are you satisfied? Song Wenxiang waved his hand, having the prepared 18 golds brought to the wedding car. Not bad. Shinzong scanned the 18 gold pieces before him one by one and nodded. Good son-in-law, can you get off the car now? The auspicious time is approaching. Song Wenxiang continued to smile profusely. Song Chuching, remember to accompany me to buy a car and look at houses tomorrow. There are so many cars at home, just pick one. I have to work tomorrow. I don't have time. Song Chuching, still unable to calm herself, retorted unpleasantly. I haven't even entered the Song family door yet, and you're already giving me used goods? Does that mean in the future, I'll only be fit to eat leftovers in your Song house? Chen Zhuang, who had already put one leg out of the car, pulled it back and upon hearing Song Chuching's words. Chuching, Song Wenxiang shouted sternly. Good son-in-law, don't worry. Tomorrow I will definitely make Chuching go with you to look at cars and houses. If she dares not to, I won't let her off easy. Song Wenxiang turned back to assure Chen Zhuang. Dad, he's just a live-in son-in-law. Why are you? A single look from Song Wenxiang forced Song Chuching to swallow her words. Wifey, then I'll be troubling you tomorrow. Only then did Chen Zhuang step out of the wedding car satisfied. With a beaming smile, he waved and greeted the surrounding friends and family. Hurry up. Stop making a spectacle of yourself here. Song Chuching grabbed Chen Zhuang and dragged him toward the wedding venue. Having finally survived the day, Song Chuching dragged her exhausted body back to the bedroom. She stripped off her heavy wedding gown, changed into a comfortable night dress, and headed for the bathroom. I had no idea getting married was this exhausting. I never want to do this again. And that bastard dared to run off early, leaving me alone at the reception. Just wait until he gets back. I'll show him. Song Chuching muttered to herself, massaging her sore lower back as she reached the bathroom door. As soon as she pushed the door open, the sight inside the bathroom frightened the color out of Song Chuching's face. You dirty pervert! Song Chuching hurriedly covered her eyes and cursed. Song Chuching reacted this way because Chen Zhuang was inside the bathroom, having just stripped off his clothes, standing stark naked facing her. I'm the pervert. I came in here first, okay? You're the one who suddenly barged in. So who's the real pervert here? Chen Zhuang unhurriedly picked up a bath towel and wrapped it around his waist. You. This is my room. Who said you could use my bathroom? Get out of there right now. Song Chuching turned sideways, her face a mix of shyness and anger as she barked the order. Get it straight. We're married. This is my bridal suite. Why should I get out? Chen Zhuang stepped forward to retort. What do you think you're doing? Chen Zhuang's approach startled Song Chuching into taking a step back, clutching her night dress tighter. Let me tell you something. Even if we are married, you can't stay in here. You go sleep in the guest room. Song Chuching avoided Chen Zhuang's gaze, yet she stole a few glances at his exposed upper body out of the corner of her eye. This bastard actually has a pretty good build. Song Chuching muttered inwardly, suddenly feeling her cheeks burn. Miss Song, if you want to watch me shower, just look openly. Don't be so sneaky about it. I'm your husband. Is there any part of me I wouldn't let you see? Chen Zong lowered his head and leaned close to Song Chuching's ear to tease her. Who? Who was peeking at you? Don't talk nonsense. Thinking her little glance had been caught, Song Chuching's face flushed in even deeper shade of red. Then why haven't you left? Do you want to take a couple's bath with me? Let me tell you, don't think you can have me that easily. I'm not that kind of loose man. Chun Zuong crossed his arms over his chest in mock defense. I have never met a bastard as thick-skinned and self-righteous as you. With that, Song Chuching turned and stomped back into the bedroom. Oof. Little brat, like I can't handle you. La de da. Chun Zuong smiled triumphantly, undid his towel, and sat in the bathtub, humming a tune. When Chun Zong finished his bath and walked into the bedroom, he saw Song Chuching sitting under the covers, her anger still simmering. What are you doing? Chun Zhuang ignored the fuming Song Chuching, walked straight to the other side of the bed, and prepared to crawl under the covers. Song Chuching hurriedly pulled the duvet tight around herself. Sleeping? What else would I be doing? As he spoke, Chun Zhuang lifted the duvet and slid in. Song Chuching immediately leaped off the bed. You bastard, get the hell out. Who said you could sleep here? This is my room. Song Chuching pointed at the door and scolded him. Are you sure you want to kick me out? Aren't you afraid your dad will find out tomorrow that I slept outside? Then you sleep on the sofa. Song Chuching thought about it and realized it wouldn't work. If her dad found out she had kicked Chun Zuong out of the room on their wedding night, she would inevitably get an earful. Having reasoned this out, Song Chuching pointed to the sofa nearby. I am the new son-in-law of the Song family, and you want me to sleep on the sofa? If anyone is sleeping there, it's you. I am sleepy. Good night. With that, Chun Zuong lay down. Fine, fine, fine. If you're sleeping here, then so am I. Stealing her resolve, Song Chuching jumped back onto the bed and burrowed under the covers. Who said you could come up here? You're waiting for me to fall asleep, so you could try something funny, aren't you? Get off. Chun Zuong rolled over and kicked Song Chuching right off the bed. Ah, Chun Zuong, you son of a bitch. You hog my bed, and then you bully me. Song Chuching climbed up from the floor, sounding pitiful. You dare to be disrespectful to me earlier. If I don't show you who's boss, you won't treat me like the head of this household, will you? 8. The morning farce. In light of your behavior just now, I sentence you to 3 days on the sofa. Having said that, Chun Zuong shifted his body to occupy the very center of the bed. You're just a lousy live-in son-in-law. What gives you the right to kick me out of bed? Furious, Song Chuching grabbed a pillow, hurled it at Chun Zuong, and scolded him. Disturb my sleep again, and I'll beat your butt to a pulp, believe it or not. Chun Zuong casually tossed the pillow aside, sat up, and glared ferociously at Song Chuching. Startled, Song Chuching took a step back and unconsciously covered her own bottom. Go to sleep. Chun Zuong turned off the bedside lamp and flopped back down to sleep. Song Chuching stomped her foot, picked up the pillow from the floor, and walked over to the sofa nearby. Ouch! Song Chuching suddenly fell off the sofa onto the floor again. This was already the 5th time she had fallen out of her sleep. Chun Zuong, I'm going to kill you. Now completely wide awake, Song Chuching climbed up. Watching Chun Zuong sleeping soundly, she gritted her teeth in hatred but sat back down on the sofa, feeling helpless. She picked up her phone to check the time. It was already past 5 in the morning. Bastard! Song Chuching put down her phone, grabbed the pillow, hurled it at Chun Zuong on the bed, and then went to the bathroom to wash up. Miss, sir, it's time to come down for breakfast. The domestic helper came to the couple's door, knocked, and called out. Coming, Song Chuching, who had finished washing up, had actually fallen asleep on the sofa again. Hearing the voice outside, she hurriedly got up and checked the time. Wake up, you big lazy pig. Song Chuching walked to the bed and pinched Chun Zuong's ear hard. Ouch, you damn hag. Are you trying to murder your husband? Chun Zuong was instantly startled awake from his sweet dream and sat up. Song Chuching rolled her eyes at him, then walked out the door with her hands on her waist and her neck tilted to the side. Song Guiqiang and his wife, along with Song Mubai and his wife, were already seated in the downstairs dining room. Seeing Song Chuching walking downstairs with difficulty, they exchanged glances, all wearing meaningful smiles. Miss, let me help you. Seeing Song Chuching's legs were numb, The servant hurriedly stepped forward to support her. The new son-in-law really is something. He doesn't know how to be gentle with a young mistress, the servant mumbled while supporting Song Chuqing. Song Chuqing looked back at the servant and frowned. Chuqing, even though it was your wedding night, you two should exercise a little restraint. Don't let it affect your work the next day. Song Mubai reminded her once she sat down. Restraint regarding what? Did they hear me and Chun Zhuang fighting in the room last night? I was already very restrained. Otherwise, would that bastard even have the chance to see the sun today? Remembering how Chun Zhuang had kicked her out of bed the previous night, Song Chuqing felt a surge of anger. Everyone blinked and looked at each other. Even the servants standing nearby lowered their heads to suppress their laughter. Ahem, let's just eat. Song Wuqiang coughed lightly to change the subject. Good morning, everyone. Chun Zhuang strolled slowly down from the second floor, grinning playfully as he greeted them. Xiao Chun, did you sleep well last night? Getting used to it. Song Wuqiang asked casually. Not bad. Chun Zhuang walked over and sat down next to Song Chuqing. That's good, as long as you're getting used to it. If you need anything, just tell the butler. Okay, I will. After speaking, Chun Zhuang picked up the milk on the table and took a sip. Beside him, Song Chuqing just kept her head down and ate, acting as if he didn't exist. Chuqing looks like that, yet this kid still looks so energetic. It's good to be young. Song Wuqiang raised an eyebrow at Chun Zhuang and mumbled internally. Mom, Dad, I'm done. I'm heading to the office. Song Chuqing stood up to leave. Wait, did you forget what you promised me yesterday? Chun Zhuang hurriedly put down his food and turned around. What is it? Song Chuqing turned around with a poker face. You promised me yesterday that you'd go with me to buy a car today. Did you forget so soon? We just got married, and you're already ignoring what I say? Does that mean my words will be worth less than a fart from now on? Chun Zhuang threw the piece of bread in his hand onto the plate and stood up. You're overthinking it. I've always considered your words to be just like farts, Song Chuqing said with a hint of smugness. You want a car? Then go earn the money to buy one yourself. I can't be bothered with you. With that, Song Chuqing walked towards the door without looking back. Fine. I see we can't go on like this. Divorce. Let's get a divorce right now. If you won't buy for me, there are plenty of people lining up to buy it for me. Having said that, Chun Zhuang started heading upstairs to get the divorce papers. Don't. Zhuang, calm down. Song Juanxiang jumped up immediately to block Chun Zhuang and soothe him. That's right. Zhuang, you two just got married yesterday. How can you get a divorce so soon? Chuqing was just talking nonsense. Your dad and I take everything you say to heart. Don't be angry. I'll make Chuqing go with you to look at cars right now. Pick whatever you like. Pick out a few so you can rotate between them. Mother Song hurriedly stood up and stepped forward to persuade him. What the fuck? I can't listen to this anymore. He's just a live-in son-in-law, a moocher living off a woman. Why are you groveling to him like that? Chun Zhuang, marrying into our Song family was the greatest luck your ancestors ever bestowed upon you. Who do you think you are, daring to threaten the Song family with divorce? Song Mubai pushed beyond his limits, slammed the table, and stood up. Song Mubai, sit down. If you spout any more nonsense, get the hell out of here right now. Song Wuqiang was so enraged by Song Mubai's words that he almost coughed up blood. The hand pointing at Song Mubai was trembling slightly. Dad, he's just a... Shut your mouth. If you dare say one more word, I'll break your legs. Honey, sit down quickly. Don't upset Mom and Dad. Song Mubai's wife stopped him just as he was about to say more. Song Mubai pointed at Chun Zhuang, let out a cold snort, and sat down. Song Chuqing, are you just going to watch your piece of trash brother talk to me like that? I'm married into your family. Yet when people belittle me like this, you don't say a damn word. You just let them bully me. I don't think we can go on like this. Let's just get a divorce. Chun Zhuang questioned, looking at a stunned Song Chuqing. Don't. You can't divorce. 9. The struggle in the cloakroom. Chuqing, say something. Why are you just standing there like an idiot? Chuqing, talk some sense into Zhuang. The Song couple anxiously shouted at Song Chuqing while trying to block Chun Zhuang. Aren't those words something I, a woman, should be saying? He's a grown man, yet he's actually threatening me with divorce? Is he the woman, or am I? Chun Zhuang, stop making a scene, will you? Song Chuching snapped back to reality and hurried over to Chen Zhuang, who was being blocked by her parents. You say I'm making a scene? Fine, let's divorce. I'll never make a scene with you again. Let's go get a divorce right now. Chen Zhuang grabbed Song Chuching's hand and started heading upstairs. Chen Zhuang, what exactly do you want? You know that's not what I meant. Song Chuching stood on the stairs blocking Chen Zhuang, leaning close to his ear to whisper. I was wrong, okay? I promise. I'll go with you to buy the car, all right? Seeing Chen Zhuang's unrelenting expression, Song Chuching bit her lip and lowered herself again. You know you were wrong? Yes, I know I was wrong. Don't let it happen again. MH, never again. Song Chuching took a deep breath and nodded. However, your brother insulted me just now, and you must give me an explanation. I am, after all, the husband of the Song Group's president. If I can't even get proper justice after being humiliated like that, how can I stay in this house in the future? Song Chuching looked back at Song Mubai, who was glaring at her. Then what do you want? Song Chuching clenched her fists, suppressing the little volcano about to erupt inside her. Slap him so he learns a lesson. The Song family's son-in-law is not to be insulted. Then make him apologize to me, and we'll call it even. Chen Zhuang tilted his head slightly, looking like he wouldn't let it go otherwise. You. Song Chuching grabbed Chen Zhuang's collar, gritting her teeth. Don't push it too far. I've agreed to your demands and apologized to you. Can't you yield a little? Song Chuching slowly released his collar, speaking with a hint of pleading. No. I can't. Chen Zhuang leaned close to Song Chuching's ear, paused for a few seconds, and whispered. Song Wuqiang heard their entire exchange from behind. He suddenly turned around and walked quickly up to Song Mubai. Smack! Dad, why did you hit me? The sudden slap nearly knocked Song Mubai to the ground. Go apologize to Zhuang. As Song Mubai stood up straight, clutching his face, Song Wuqiang pointed at Chen Zhuang. Dad, you want me to apologize to this live-in loser? Smack! Song Wuqiang slapped Song Mubai across the face again. He is your brother-in-law and the son-in-law of the Song family. If you dare say that kind of thing again, get out of the Song house. Dad, have you lost your mind? Song Mubai couldn't believe that his own father would kick him out for the sake of a live-in son-in-law. Go apologize to Zhuang right now. I don't want to say it a second time. Fine, I'll apologize. Happy. Seeing that Song Wuqiang wasn't bluffing, Song Mubai angrily walked over to Chen Zhuang. I'm sorry, my good brother-in-law. Song Mubai clenched his fists until his knuckles cracked. It's okay. I forgive you, dear brother-in-law. Chen Zhuang patted Song Mubai on the shoulder. Are you satisfied now? Song Chuching tugged at Chen Zhuang's sleeve and said fiercely, satisfied now. Let's go. To see the cars. Chen Zhuang patted Song Mubai's shoulder again and walked toward the door. Go ahead. Don't worry about the company today. Just make a call to arrange things, Song Wuqiang said as he walked over. Song Chuching gave a cold snort and followed him. Chen Zhuang, stand right there. Song Chuching chased him out, took a few quick steps, and blocked Chen Zhuang's path. Speak. You were too much today. Don't think that just because I have you, no one else wants me, Song Chuching. Song Chuching looked up at Chen Zhuang fiercely. I know that, but you'd probably have a hard time finding a second person who can help you sit securely as the president of the Song Corporation. Chen Zhuang put his hands in his pockets, lowered his head, and slowly leaned in close to Song Chuching. She could already feel his warm breath and hurriedly turned her head away. What? What do you mean? I don't understand. You understand perfectly. After saying this, Chen Zhuang lifted a strand of hair from Song Chuching's shoulder, brought it to the tip of his nose, and took a deep breath. You dirty rogue, what are you doing? Song Chuching pushed Chen Zhuang away and tidied the hair he had messed up. You are my lawful wife. What's wrong with touching you? Is such a big reaction necessary? Chen Zhuang shrugged indifferently. Well, that's not allowed either. We belong to the love after marriage category. Although we're married, there isn't love yet, so you can't touch me. Song Chuching said with a shy expression. Fine, I'll go out and find a woman who is willing to let me touch her. I can't exactly mistreat myself. After saying that, Chen Zhuang strode towards Song Chuching's car nearby. Chen Zhuang, you dare. You stop right there. Song Chuching froze for a moment, then turned and chased after him. After the two left, the household maids went to their room to tidy up. Auntie, the maid organizing the couple's bed frowned. What's wrong? Asked the maid who was wiping the furniture, turning around. Didn't the miss and the son-in-law already? Last night? Why is there no red on the sheets? No way. The maid wiping the furniture hurriedly put down her work and ran over. After checking everywhere again and confirming they couldn't find the evidence that should exist after a shy wedding night. Could it be that the miss was no longer? Impossible. The miss has always been virtuous and never had intimate contact with the opposite sex. Even with her suitors, the miss would reject them unceremoniously. The older maid denied immediately. She had been in the Song family for nearly 20 years and had watched Song Chuqing grow up. Song Chuqing was definitely not the kind of woman who would have relations with a man before marriage. Besides, she had never heard of Song Chuqing having a boyfriend before. Then this. Look, Auntie Zhao. The other maid pointed to the messy sofa nearby. Clearly, someone had been lying on it. So that's it. Since they did that on the sofa, maybe they did it elsewhere too. The son-in-law and the miss really play wild. No wonder the miss was walking like that this morning. 10. Showdown at Computer City, the younger maid pointed back at the sofa and analyzed with a wicked grin. What nonsense are you thinking? Get back to work. Annie Zhao lightly slapped the little maid's bottom and rolled her eyes at her. Hee. The little maid gave a mischievous smile and went back to her work. Because Song Chuqing had slept on the sofa last night, her legs still felt numb, and her spirits were low. Therefore, Chun Zong was driving today, and that was only after Song Chuqing had begged him for a long time before he reluctantly agreed. The two drove to a 4S dealership, and Chun Zong unceremoniously selected a custom Pagani Zonda. Sir, let me first introduce the performance of this car to you. It uses no need for introductions. I want this one. Chun Zhuang interrupted the saleswoman, who was wearing a sweet smile, and made the decision on the spot. The smile on the saleswoman's face suddenly froze. Wife, pay up. Chun Zhuang looked back at Song Chuqing, who was yawning. If he wants this one, just let him have it. Here, swipe the card. Listless, Song Chuqing took a bank card out of her bag and handed it to the salesperson. Certainly, miss. Please wait a moment. The smile on the salesperson's face returned, even brighter than before, as she took the bank card. Deliver the car to the Song Manor. Yes, sir. After everything was settled, Chun Zhuang gave instructions to the salesperson. Let's go. Wife, the car is bought. Let's go shopping. Saying this, Chun Zhuang pulled Song Chuqing out of the 4S store. That guy's just too lucky, isn't he? Tell me about it. Ms. Song spoils her husband way too much. She bought a car worth over 30 million just like that, without even blinking. What can you do? The guy's just that handsome. So being handsome really can pay the bills. After the couple left, several salespeople gathered around, enviously discussing the jaw-dropping scene they had just witnessed. Why did you bring me here? I want to go home, Song Chuqing complained as the car pulled up to the entrance of a luxury mall. To buy clothes and bags, of course. Hurry up and get out. Chun Zhuang unbuckled his seatbelt and was the first to step out. Does this jerk realize he wronged me last night and wants to buy me gifts to apologize? Song Chuqing wondered as she reluctantly followed him out of the car. There's no need. I have plenty of clothes. You don't need to try and curry favor with me. I won't forgive you, Song Chuqing said presumptuously as she walked up to Chun Zhuang. What? Me apologize to you? Por favor. Who said I was buying things for you? I didn't bring any clothes when I came here. I'm buying them for myself. Stop flattering yourself. Let's go. Having said that, Chun Zhuang strode into the mall. Arg. Chun Zhuang, I'm going to kill you. Song Chuqing stomped her feet, gnashing her teeth in rage. This one, and that one, and these too. Get them all in my size. I want to try them on first. Inside a high-end clothing store, Chun Zhuang selected the clothes he liked. Song Chuqing sat in the lounge area, watching with a look of disdain. Certainly, sir. Two attendants went together to retrieve the items for Chun Zhuang. Chun Zhuang tried on over a dozen outfits. Only when Song Chuqing was on the verge of falling asleep in the lounge did he finally stop. Except for this one. Wrap up everything else I tried on. Yes, sir. Please wait a moment. Chun Zhuang pointed to all the clothes he had just tried. Hey, go pay the bill. Chun Zhuang walked over to Song Chuqing and nudged her as she dozed off. Can't you pay for a few clothes yourself? Why make me pay? Don't tell me you can't afford it. The betrothal gifts given to you yesterday could buy this whole shop. Song Chuching stood up, looking up at him and questioning him fiercely. If I could pay for it, what would I need you for? I'm married into your family, so you have to support me. Hurry up and go. Chen Zhuang gave Song Chuching a shove, then sat down in the spot she had just vacated. How can you be so shameless? How do you have a nerve to say things like that? You're a man, but you act like a kept woman. I'm not paying for this today. After speaking, Song Chuching plumped herself down next to Chen Zhuang, her face cold as she turned her head away. Not buying? No, I won't. Song Chuching snorted coldly and crossed her arms. Phoenix. Lawyer Wang, draft a divorce agreement immediately and bring it to Ding Shimal. With that, Chen Zhuang took out his phone and called his lawyer. Chen Zhuang, you... Song Chuching hurriedly stood up, looking down angrily at the nonchalant Chen Zhuang. Do you have anything other than threatening me with divorce? As long as it works. Chen Zhuang crossed his legs, one hand tapping the sofa armrest like he was playing the piano, tilting his head slightly to look at Song Chuching smugly. Sir, your clothes are all packed. The total is 2 million. How would you like to pay? The attendant brought the bags, big and small, in front of the pair. Phew. Card. Song Chuching exhaled deeply, glaring viciously at Chen Zhuang. She pulled out a card and roared, startling the attendant. Miss, please wait a moment. Putting down the clothes, the attendant took the card from Song Chuching's hand and hurriedly ran to the counter. Miss, your card and the receipt. The attendant carefully returned the bank card to Song Chuching. Lawyer Wang, hold off on the divorce agreement for now. Grab the stuff. Let's go check out the computer market. Chen Zhuang finished the call, stood up, and walked out of the store, leaving behind a bewildered Song Chuching and the piles of shopping bags. You want me to carry his things? It took a while for Song Chuching to point at herself, speaking with a face full of disbelief. Don't get angry. Don't get angry. I have to endure it. I have to endure it. It's not worth getting angry at this bastard. After consoling herself, Song Chuching took a deep breath, picked up the shopping bags, and stumbled out of the store to chase after him. Wasn't that the eldest miss of the Song family just now? That was her. 11. Same bed, different dreams. That man treats her like that, and she tolerates it? Is this still the ice-cold female CEO we often see on TV? Maybe the eldest miss has that kind of fetish. Rich people are such perverts. After the two left, two sales assistants leaned together, whispering about Chen and Song. There's a computer at home. Why do you need to buy another one? Chen Zhuang was selecting a computer he liked, while Song Chuching followed behind him, unable to hold back the question. What kind of specs does your family's have? It lags to death when playing games. I need to buy a new one. Chen Zhuang looked down at a detailed spec sheet for a computer and replied casually. Are you planning to just stay home and play games every day? Song Chuching pushed Chen Zhuang, making him face her. What else? I have such a capable Song Corporation president wife supporting me. If I don't stay home and play games, what else can I do? Or would you prefer I go out drinking, partying, and chasing women? Chen Zhuang bent down slightly and whispered in his Song Chuching's ear. Get away. Do whatever you want. I can't be bothered with you. Song Chuching pushed Chen Zhuang away and walked aside. This one, have it delivered to the Song residence. I want all this matching gear too. Ask her to pay the bill. Chen Zhuang pointed at Song Chuching standing nearby to the sales assistant. Chen Zhuang actually made Song Chuching sleep on the sofa for 3 days. Every morning, Song Chuching would wake up listless, her legs numb and her walk unsteady. The servants and the Song family all thought the young couple was just playing too wild at night. I can sleep in a bed today, right? Freshly bathed, Song Chuching returned to the room to find Chen Zhuang already sitting under the covers. Song Chuching stood by the bed and asked pitifully, For the sake of you being so good, I'll reluctantly allow you to share the bed with me today. Chen Zhuang put down his phone and replied, What? Together? Isn't it your turn to sleep on the sofa? Song Chuching blinked, then frowned. You think I want to sleep with you? Also, who said I was going to sleep on the sofa? Sleep there or don't, I don't care. After speaking, Chen Zhuang picked up his phone again, grinning as he scrolled through short dramas. Song Chuching bit her lip lightly, looked at the sofa, then at the spacious, comfortable bed. Finally, she slowly walked to the bedside, gently lifted the covers, and sat in. She pressed the duvet tightly around her body, terrified that the scoundrel next to her might try something inappropriate. Yawn. I'm tired, let's sleep. Chen Zhuang yawned, put down his phone, and lay down. Chen Zhuang's sudden movement scared Song Chuqing, making her hurriedly tighten the covers around herself. What are you doing? Why are you sitting there like an idiot instead of sleeping? Chen Zhuang turned his head to glance at Song Chuqing, who was leaning against the headboard looking nervous. Oh, I'm going to sleep now. Song Chuqing slowly lay down, turning her back to Chen Zhuang. He actually ignored me. That jerk. Song Chuqing, am widely recognized as one of the top beauties in Guangdong province, the university campus queen back in the day. Yet he's completely indifferent to me? Do I really have no charm left? Song Chuqing gently reached out and touched her cheek. Beep, beep, beep. Not until the alarm rang did Song Chuqing smack her lips and slowly open her eyes. This was the soundest sleep she had had since getting married. Suddenly, Song Chuqing felt something very warm under her hand. Squinting, she touched it, then gave it a squeeze. It was a person's chest. Song Chuqing hurriedly opened her eyes wide, only to discover she was nestled in a man's arms like a kitten, with her hand still resting on his chest. And one of the man's large hands was actually resting on her buttocks. Slap! Suddenly, the large hand on Song Chuqing's buttocks gave a forceful squeeze. Terrified, Song Chuqing screamed and reflexively slapped him. Her shout startled Chen Zhuang, who was still wandering in his sweet dreams, awake. You dirty pervert! What did you do to me? Song Chuqing shoved Chen Zhuang away with such force she nearly pushed him off the bed. Song Chuqing hurriedly sat up, straightening her pink spaghetti-strap nightgown, and crossed her arms tightly over her chest to protect herself, scooting away from Chen Zhuang. You crazy woman, what did I do to you? Chen Zhuang sat up, rubbing his burning cheek. Why was I in your... Song Chuqing lowered her brow, her face flushed with shame. In my arms, right? You were the one who burrowed into my arms in the middle of the night, okay? Chen Zhuang recalled the scene he saw when he first opened his eyes, and then remembered feeling something constantly drilling into his arms in his sleep during the night. Thinking about it now, last night wasn't a dream. It must have been this woman in front of him. Bullshit. How could I possibly? Song Chuqing hurriedly denied it. Believe it or not, even if I did sleep with you, what are you going to do about it? Chen Zhuang said, then indifferently rolled out of bed. You dirty pervert. Song Chuqing picked up a pillow and threw it at Chen Zhuang, who was preparing to wash up. Believe it or not, I'll take you right here and now. I'm very hard first thing in the morning, Chen Zhuang threatened, turning back with a stern face. You wouldn't dare. Frightened, Song Chuqing hurriedly grabbed the duvet and wrapped herself up tightly, revealing only her head. After Chen Zhuang left, Song Chuqing secretly lifted the duvet and looked down at herself. Confirming she didn't see the scene she had expected, she let out a long sigh of relief, but soon felt a sense of loss. Song Chuqing pouted before getting out of bed to wash up and head to the company. It had been a month since the wedding. Song Chuqing went to work on time and returned home punctually. Since that day, Song Chuqing would wait until Chen Zhuang was asleep before sneaking into the room and crawling under the covers. She would place a pillow between them, though occasionally she would cross this barrier to nestle in Chen Zhuang's arms. After waking up, the two maintained a tacit understanding to act as if nothing had happened, getting up separately to wash up and go downstairs to eat. Lately, apart from playing video games at home, Chen Zhuang would go out with a few close friends to eat, drink, and have fun. His life was incredibly carefree. Chen Zhuang, I'm going to kill you. When Song Chuqing returned home from work, she discovered that one of her walk-in closets had been converted by Chen Zhuang into his gaming room. Seeing Chen Zhuang in the middle of an intense gaming session, Song Chuqing darted behind him and strangled his neck with both hands. Cough, cough. You damn shrew-let. Let go. It took a great deal of effort for Chen Zhuang to pry Song Chuqing's hands off his neck. Did you take the wrong medicine today? What are you acting crazy for? Chen Zhuang turned around, looking up and down at Song Chuqing, whose chest was heaving with rage. This is my walk-in closet. Why did you change it into your game room? And where did all my clothes go? Song Chuching pointed around the room, her eyes revealing a fierce light as she questioned him. I saw that this place was spacious and bright. It makes a great game room for me, so I changed it. Don't you have another closet? I had someone move all your stuff to the other one. All right, if there's nothing else, get out. I need to play. You made me lose that last match. After saying that, Chen Zhuang put his headset back on and started a new game. Chen Zhuang, I must have had 8 lifetimes of bad luck to recruit you as the live-in son-in-law of my family. Song Chuching punched Chen Zhuang hard on the back before turning to leave. Women are so troublesome. With so many closets, what's wrong with letting me use one? Stingy. Chen Zhuang glanced back, then continued playing his game. Dad, Mom, I'm done eating. I'm heading to the office. Today, after finishing breakfast, Song Chuching stood up to leave. Chuching, wait. Your mother has something to say to you. Song Wenxiang hurriedly stopped Song Chuching and shot a glance at Song's mother beside him. Oh, right. Mom has something to tell you. Song's mother put down her chopsticks, catching the hint. What is it? I'm going to be late. Song Chuching checked the watch on her wrist and turned back. Come with me for a moment. Song's mother stood up and went to the study on the first floor. Song Chuching pursed her lips and followed her inside. Chen Zhuang seemed to not hear their conversation at all, engrossed in tasting the delicious breakfast, occasionally smacking his lips. Once the mother and daughter entered the study, Song's mother immediately closed the door. Mom, what's going on? You're being so mysterious. Song Chuching walked over to the side, sat down and asked, Kingya, have you felt anything unusual with your body lately? Like loss of appetite? Or craving sour foods? Song's mother walked over, sat next to her daughter, held her hand, and asked in a low voice. Her eyes unconsciously lingered on Song Chuching's lower abdomen. No, my health is fine. Song Chuching replied without thinking. That shouldn't be. Song's mother muttered to herself. Is it wrong for my body to be fine? Do you want me to be in poor health? Song Chuching retorted. Of course not. Chuching, you and Lil Chun have been married for over 2 months now. You haven't conceived yet. Do you want Mom to find a doctor for you to see? Song's mother stopped beating around the bush and asked directly. Conceive? Mom, what are you talking about? I only married him to borrow his background influence to help me seize actual control of the company. How could I turn this fake act into reality and carry his child? I'm going to kick that bastard out sooner or later. Thinking of Chen Zhuang's recent behavior, Song Chuching grit her teeth in resentment. Chuching, it's not right for you to think that way. Aren't you afraid that little Chun will really divorce you and turn around and marry someone else? The best solution right now is for you to do whatever it takes to get pregnant with little Chen's child. Once there's a child, even if he wants a divorce, he'll have to think twice for the baby's sake. Besides, where are you going to find another son-in-law as good as little Chun? Mother Song explained earnestly. He's good. How come I haven't seen a single good thing about him? Song Chuching scoffed with a dismissive smile. Setting aside his status, there are plenty of women who would throw themselves at him just for that alone. Did you know that because your stomach often bothers you and you never eat on time, your daily breakfast and the lunch the nanny brings to your office are all prepared by a chef Little Chen, specially hired from Shangjing, just for you? Mother Song retorted. Specially hired for me? Didn't he say he couldn't get used to our cook's food and hire that chef for himself? Song Chuching blinked, unconvinced. He just doesn't want to admit that he cares about you. I can tell little Chun still holds a place for you in his heart. Mother Song took her daughter's hand, a faint smile on her face. Is he really that kind-hearted? Anyone who shows unsolicited attentiveness is usually up to no good. Song Chuching pursed her lips and muttered under her breath. Yet deep down, she felt incredibly giddy. Oh no, I'm going to be late. Song Chuching snapped back to reality, realizing she still had to go to work. She stood up and hurriedly ran out of the study. You need to move on with what I just told you. I know. Mother Song stood up and raised her voice to remind her once more. Ever since Mother Song had that talk with Song Chuching, the look in Song Chuching's eyes when she looked at Chen Zhuang had softened considerably. He even seemed much more pleasing to the eye now. Chen Zhuang, we've been married for so long, but we haven't been back to your home yet. Let's go visit your parents tomorrow. I heard the Chun family's company is running into some trouble recently. Let's help them out. Gone was the awkwardness Song Chu-ching felt the first time she shared a bed with Chun Zuong. Acting like an old married couple now, she naturally lifted the covers and climbed in. I don't even care about them. So why are you in such a rush? You're worrying about things that are none of your business. Chun Zuong sat under the covers looking at his phone, giving Song Chu-ching a side-eye glance. How can you be so inhumane? They're your family. Do you really not care if they live or die? When they came to the house a couple of days ago, did you have the bodyguards chase them away? Song Chu-ching punched Chun Zuong lightly with her fist. Ever since my mom died, I haven't had a family. Whether the Chins live or die has nothing to do with me. Chun Zuong put down his phone and turned around, clearly displeased. No matter what you say, the Chun family blood flows through your veins. You can't escape that. I've already had gifts prepared. You must go back to the Chun house with me tomorrow. I don't want people gossiping behind my back that I'm an unfilial daughter-in-law. If you won't go, I'll go by myself. With that, Song Chu-ching lay down, turning her back to Chun Zuong. Suit yourself. Chun Zuong tossed his phone onto the nightstand and lay down as well, turning his back to Song Chu-ching. Dad, Mom, I'm going over to the Chun house today. Good. It's about time you went to visit your in-laws. On the sofa, Song Wenxiang lowered his book and turned around. Are the gifts ready? I have a box of premium bird's nest here. Take it with you. Mother Song hurriedly stood up to fetch her treasured bird's nest. Song Chu-ching didn't pay attention to her parents' words. Instead, she looked at Chun Zong, who was still dilly-dallying over breakfast, grinning foolishly at his phone. Chen Tsuong. Song Chu-ching grew angrier the more she looked at him and let out a roar. It startled Song Wenxiang so much he shivered. Are you coming with me or not? Song Chu-ching demanded with a long face. It's my parents' place. Why are you in such a rush? Wait until I finish breakfast. Chun Zuong replied indifferently, without looking back. Little Chun, I've heard a bit about your family situation. No matter what, he is still your biological father, and you really should go back and see him. Go back and tell your dad that regarding the capital issues the Chun Corporation is facing, the Song Corporation is willing to bail him out. Tell him not to worry. Song Wenxiang glanced at his daughter, who looked like a powder keg about to explode, and hurriedly stood up to speak. Song Wenxiang said this, firstly, because he wanted to help smooth things over between the father and son, and secondly, because he wanted to leave a good impression on Chun Zuong. Otherwise, given the Song Corporation's status and power in Guang Province, the survival of a small company like the Chun Corporation wouldn't be enough to trigger his charity. Little Chun, just do it for Dad's sake. Go back and take a look. Seeing that Chun Zuong remained unmoved, Song Wenxiang added with a hint of pleading. All right, Fine. Just for the sake of how well you've treated me since I arrived at the Song family, I suppose I'll force myself to accompany her back for a visit. Chun Zuong put away his phone and stood up, turning back with a look of feigned reluctance. He pointed at Song Chu-ching and spoke. Remember, you're the one who wants to go to the Chun house. Don't come crying to me later. Just as Song Chu-ching was about to flare up, Chun Zuong cut her off again. Let's go, President Song. Chun Zuong grabbed his jacket and headed for the door. Grab the gifts. You prepare them. You carry them. It's not like I got them ready. With that, Chun Zuong walked out. Bastard. Chapter 13. Turmoil at the Chun family. You two take these things to the car. Yes, miss. Song Chu-ching gave the order to the servants with a dark expression. Chu-ching, wait. Take this with you too. Song's mother hurried out holding some bird's nest and handed it to Song Chu-ching. Speak nicely when you get there. You can't go throwing your heiress temper around. I know, Mom. Song Chu-ching took the bird's nest and stormed out. Drive to the Chun residence. Yes, miss. Song Chu-ching got into the car, shot a glance at Chun Zuong beside her, and coldly instructed the driver. You're the one insisting on going. Don't blame me for not warning you later, Chun Zuong said with a wicked grin as the car started. It's not like we're entering a dragon's den or a tiger's lair. I don't need your warnings. Song Chu-ching retorted before looking out the window. The car came to a smooth stop outside the Chun family villa, and the two of them stepped out. Grab the things. Let's go in, Song Chu-ching commanded, leading the way into the courtyard. The eldest young master and his wife are back. Quick, go tell the master. Seeing the couple walk in, the Chun family servants hurriedly dropped their work. Moments later, Chun Guodong and his family came rushing out. President Song, no, I should call you Chu Qing. We're all family now. I can address you like that, right? Chun Guodong stood before them, his face piled with ingratiating smiles. Of course you can, Song Chu Qing said with a faint smile. You little beast. You see your old man and don't even call me dad? No manners at all. Chun Guodong's face instantly dropped as he looked at the slouching Chen Zhuang. It seems the lesson I taught you the other day wasn't deep enough, Chen Zhuang sneered. You, Chu Qing, you have no idea. The other day, your aunt and I went to the Song estate to visit you, and this beast actually had us thrown out. He even released the dogs on us. Your brother Xiaoyu lost a shoe running from them. Chu Qing, you have to teach this little beast a lesson for us. Chun Guodong looked at Song Chu Qing with a face full of grievance. Hearing Chun Guodong's whining, Song Chu Qing didn't say a word. She simply frowned, a trace of displeasure appearing on her face. Why bring this up now? Let's go inside first. We can talk inside, Mrs. Chun said with an apologetic smile, noticing Song Chu Qing's darkened expression. Right, let's go inside first. Chun Guodong hurriedly stepped aside to let Song Chu Qing lead the way. Chen Zhuang and I have been married for a while now. Since company affairs are so busy, I haven't been able to find the time to come visit you until now. Please forgive me. After everyone was seated, Song Chu Qing spoke first. It's fine. The Song family business is massive, and you manage it all by yourself. We completely understand that you don't have time to come back, Chun Guodong said with an ingratiating smile. Chen Zhuang, you little beast. Can't you show some manners in front of President Song? Look at how you're sitting. What do you look like? Seeing Chun Zhuang lounging lazily on the sofa next to Song Chu Qing, Chen Guodong scolded him with visible disgust. President Song hasn't said a word, so why are you so eager to suck up to her? Chun Zhuang retorted, propping one foot directly onto the coffee table. Fine. Good. Watch me beat you to death, you ill-bred animal. Chun Guodong pulled off his belt as he spoke and lunged forward. I'm guessing you came looking for me the other day because of the funding issues the Chun Group is facing. Believe it or not, if you dare touch a single hair on my head today, no one will dare to help you with the Chun family's crisis. Chun Zhuang spoke calmly, just as Chun Guodong raised the belt. That's right. That day, I wanted you to beg President Song to help the Chun family weather this storm. But now that President Song is here in person, do you think I still care about a little beast like you? Chun Guodong pointed the belt at Chun Zhuang, looking triumphant. You see that? Chun Zhuang tilted his head towards Song Chu Qing and shrugged. Chun Guodong, let me tell you this. Without my nod, she will absolutely not help you. Oh, and by the way, forget about the Song family. Without my approval, no one in the entire Guang province would dare to lift a finger to help you. Chun Zhuang pointed at Song Chu Qing, then pointed at the ground, speaking with domineering authority. Ha! You little beast! You really talk big. Who do you think you are? You're nothing but a live-in son-in-law of the Song family. To put it bluntly, you're just a plaything for the rich. You actually take yourself seriously? And the whole Guang province listens to you? You don't actually think your dead mother's family still acknowledges a grandson like you, do you? Chun Guodong and his wife chimed in, echoing each other's disdain. If I hadn't had my eye on your mother's family influence back then, how could I possibly have married that tigress? How could I have fathered a little beast like you? The mere thought of Chun Zhuang's mother made Chun Guodong shake with anger. Smack! Just as Chun Zhuang was about to speak, Song Chu Qing suddenly slapped the table and stood up. The sound made the Chun couple tremble in unison. President Chun, Madam Chun, Chun Zhuang is now the son-in-law of the Song family and my, Song Chu Qing's husband. Since I walked in, you've called a little beast with every breath. Do you really think the Song family is easy to bully, or do you think I, Song Chu Qing, have no temper? Song Chu Qing scolded them with a cold face. President Song, he's just a piece of trash. Why would you? Shut up. If you dare slander my husband like that again, even if you were his family, I will not let you off lightly. Chun Guodong hadn't finished speaking when Song Chu Qing sternly cut him off. Her murderous glare scared the couple into lowering their heads in silence. Chun Zhuang stood up and looked Song Chu Qing up and down. Wife, you've visited the Chun home, and you've seen the true colors of these people. Let's go back. All right. Chen Zhuang stepped forward and took Song Chuqing's hand. Surprisingly, she didn't resist, and the two prepared to leave, hand in hand. Zhuang, wait. Chen Guodong hurriedly called out to stop them, though his eyes were filled with defiance. Is there something else? The couple didn't look back. Chen Zhuang spoke indifferently. That was wrong just now. For the sake of us being family, please beg President Song to help the Chen Group. The Chen Group is your mother's life's work, after all, and you still hold shares. Do you really have the heart to watch it go bankrupt? Chen Guodong clenched his fists tight, glaring viciously at Chen Zhuang's back. When the Chen Group goes bankrupt, I will buy it, Chen Zhuang replied calmly. If you don't help me survive this crisis, I will. I will take your mother's ashes and feed them to the pigs, Chen Guodong threatened, fuming with rage. Chen Guodong. Chen Zhuang let go of Song Chuqing's hand and spun around, his face filled with fury. Umph. Chen Guodong snorted coldly, looking as if to say, what can you do to me? Give me my mother's ashes, and I might let you off, Chen Zhuang said icily. Let you off? Don't try to scare me. I don't buy that act. One sentence. Help me solve the company's crisis and transfer your shares in the Chen Group to your younger brother. Otherwise, don't even think about seeing your mother's ashes again. Chen Guodong continued to threaten him, wearing a look of shameless brazenness. Speak. How much do you want? Chen Zhuang suppressed the anger in his heart. 100 million. Chen Guodong held up a finger. You really dare to open your mouth like a lion? 100 million is enough to buy the entire Chen Group, Chen Zhuang sneered. Cut the crap. 100 million or your mother's ashes. I think you know which is more important to you. Chen Guodong flicked his sleeve. Fine, I agree. But I have a condition. From now on, I make a clean break with the Chen family. We have no relationship whatsoever. I agree. Chen Guodong accepted without a second thought. I'll have someone transfer the 100 million to the Chen Group's account another day. Let's go. Chen Zhuang pulled Song Chuqing along and turned to leave. Don't forget the shares in your hand, either, Chen Guodong shouted from behind them just before they walked out the door. Your mother? No, I mean, where's our mom's grave? As the daughter-in-law, I really should have gone to pay my respects earlier. Also, I can have people move mom's ashes and arrange for 24-hour security, so you don't have to worry. It was a long time after getting into the car before Song Chuqing finally spoke. I don't know, Chen Zhuang replied flatly, his face expressionless. You don't know? What do you mean? Song Chuqing blinked, confused. I don't know where he put my mother's ashes. Chen Zhuang turned to look at Song Chuqing, a trace of despondency in his eyes that made Song Chuqing feel a sudden pang of heartache. I was still young when my mother passed away. In order to get the shares my mother left me, he hid her ashes somewhere I wouldn't know, using them to blackmail me. This isn't the first time he's done this. Chen Zhuang turned his head back to look straight ahead and said, that Chen Guodong is barely human. How would he treat you like that? I am sorry. Overcome with emotion, Song Chuqing hurriedly apologized. It's fine. He never was human to begin with, Chen Zhuang said with a faint smile. Don't worry. Once I get back, I'll have people investigate. I will definitely get mom's ashes back. Then what do you plan to do about the crisis at the Chen Corporation? After all, it's the fruit of mom's hard work. If you need it, just ask. I'll use the Song family's funds to help you. Song Chuqing didn't know why her attitude toward Chen Zhuang had suddenly changed so drastically. No need. I can handle a small matter like this myself. All right then. Being politely rejected by Chen Zhuang, a trace of disappointment rose in Song Chuqing's heart. At night, Song Chuqing walked into the room with her head lowered, wearing a sexy red nightgown, her cheeks flushed with embarrassment. Usually you bundle yourself up tight. What kind of madness has gotten into you today? Chen Zhuang raised his brows, glancing at Song Chuqing, who stood by the bed with her hands twisting together in knots. You don't like it. Song Chuqing stole a glance at Chen Zhuang on the bed, then quickly lowered her head again. Get up here. Chen Zhuang put down the book in his hand, patted the spot next to him, and revealed a wicked grin. Oh! Song Chuqing let out a soft sound of acknowledgement and sheepishly climbed under the covers, wrapping herself up tightly so only her head was showing. Dressed like that today. Is it because you want that? Chen Zhuang leaned close to Song Chuqing's ear, teasing her softly. What that? You. Don't talk nonsense. I. It was my mom who said we should have a baby. Chen Zhuang's words made Song Chuqing's face turn even redder. Oh, is that so? Since it's your mom's idea, then you have to follow through. Otherwise, it would be unfilial. By the way, how do we make a baby? I don't know how, do you? How about you give me a demonstration? Chen Zhuang leaned close to Song Chuqing's ear again. His hot breath instantly made her feel weak all over and her mouth go dry. Chen Zhuang, I. Song Chuqing turned her head to face Chen Zhuang. Her eyes were misty, her breathing rapid, and her face was red all the way to the roots of her neck. Who's? Bam! Song Chuqing slowly closed her eyes and kissed Chen Zhuang's lips. Smack! Come on, flip over. Midway through the affair, Chen Zhuang lightly slapped Song Chuqing's buttocks. Chen Zhuang, you bastard. What do you think we're doing? Grilling meat? What do you take me for? Song Chuqing opened her eyes and glared at Chen Zhuang. Keep running your mouth, and see if I don't carry you to the sofa. Smack! Hurry up. After speaking, Chen Zhuang slapped Song Chuqing's buttocks again. Oh! Song Chuqing obediently rolled over. You! Slow down. Sunlight streamed through the window, falling on Chen Zhuang's face. Chen Zhuang slowly opened his eyes, glanced at Song Chuqing snuggled in his arms, and then looked at the scratch marks on his chest. Aren't you usually quite arrogant? You're finally well-behaved once you're in bed, aren't you? Chen Zhuang extended a finger to lift the chin of the soundly sleeping Song Chuqing. Sleepy. A groggy Song Chuqing pushed Chen Zhuang's hand away, squeezed deeper into his embrace, placed a hand on his chest, and occasionally kneaded it. Feeling something was off, Song Chuqing suddenly opened her eyes. Seeing the man's chest right in front of her, she wished she could find a hole in the ground to crawl into. Touched enough. Chen Zhuang suddenly spoke, scaring Song Chuqing into abruptly sitting up. Sure. Intending to apologize, Song Chuqing suddenly realized her nightgown was gone. With a scream, she grabbed the duvet and wrapped herself up like a cocoon. You. Song Chuqing had wrapped the entire duvet around herself, leaving Chen Zhuang completely exposed to the air. She happened to see a certain part of his and hurriedly turned her face away, pointing a finger at it. What are you making such a fuss about so early in the morning? Chen Zhuang sat up straight, acting as if it didn't matter. You dirty rogue wore my clothes. Also, why aren't you wearing clothes? Put them on, hurry. Song Chuqing kept her head turned away, her face showing shyness. Shy now. Was there anything of mine you didn't see last night? Or anything of yours I didn't see? Who was the one holding on tight last night? What is there to be shy about? Chen Zhuang shifted his body, leaning close to Song Chuqing to tease her. 15 grandma's test. You're shameless. I did not. Seeing Song Chuqing's bashful appearance, Chen Zhuang suddenly felt a surge of heat again. It's still early. Why don't we practice what we did last night again? You still seem a bit unfamiliar with the ropes. As he spoke, Chen Zhuang tackled Song Chuqing back on the bed. No, Mom and Dad are waiting for us. Chen Zhuang, you bastard. Feeling thoroughly refreshed, Chen Zhuang put on his clothes. Hurry up and get out of bed. It's time to go down for breakfast. Chen Zhuang was fully dressed, but Song Chuqing remained sitting wrapped in the duvet. You go out first. Fine. Chen Zhuang shrugged and left the room. Only when she heard silence outside the door did Song Chuqing gingerly pick up her clothes from the floor and put them on, piece by piece. Bastard, this was my favorite nightgown. Song Chuqing picked up the torn nightdress and cursed under her breath. Fully dressed, Song Chuqing held on the banister, walking down step by step. She felt as if her legs didn't belong to her anymore. Chuqing, come here. Mom made lots of delicious food for you today. It's all good for your health. Seeing the way their daughter was walking, the Song couple exchanged a glance, understanding exactly what had happened. Oh! After sitting down, Song Chuqing rolled her eyes at Chen Zhuang, who was eating with gusto across from her. Can you come with me to see Grandma today? Since that day, Chen and Song had become quite familiar with their intimacy, and Song Chuching was no longer as inhibited as she had been the first time. After they were done, Song Chuching nestled in Chun Zhuang's arms like a kitten. "Are you ready to lay your cards on the table with your grandmother?" Chun Zhuang asked, his eyes half closed as he stroked Song Chuching's smooth arm. "What? What do you mean? You had me marry into the Song family just so you could use my grandfather's Lin family connections to pressure your grandmother into giving up her shares, didn't you?" Chen Zhuang replied indifferently. "So you know." Song Chuching sat up abruptly. To gain control of the Song Corporation, you didn't hesitate to use your own happiness as a bargaining chip. Do you regret it? Chun Zhuang withdrew his hand from her and looked at her seriously. "If I don't take full control of the Song Corporation, my parents, my brother, and my sister-in-law could all be pushed out of the company by my second uncle's family. I can't let them suffer because of me." A look of sadness appeared on Song Chuching's face. "If I help you get those shares, am I going to be kicked to the curb next?" Chun Zhuang reached out, held Song Chuching's chin, and turned her face towards him. "Chen Zhuang, you bastard. I've given myself to you completely. Doesn't that prove how I feel? Even if you don't help me, you, Chun Zhuang, are the only husband I, Song Chuching, will ever have in this lifetime. Unless you die." After saying this, Song Chuching still felt indignant, so she added that last part. She then slapped Chun Zhuang's hand away from her chin. "Have you fallen in love with me?" Chun Zhuang tilted his head and asked with a smile, looking at the pouting Song Chuching. "Who fell in love with you? Don't flatter yourself." Song Chuching turned her face away. "Then if I said I fell in love with you back in college, would you believe me?" Chun Zhuang asked, still looking at her with his head tilted. "Don't lie to me. You bullied me every day back then. How could you have loved me?" Chun Zhuang didn't reply immediately. He turned Song Chuching's body towards him, so their eyes met. His eyes were filled with genuine emotion. "Because you were so perfect back then, while in everyone else's eyes, I was just a good-for-nothing, spendthrift playboy. How could I have been good enough for you? Every time I teased you, or bullied you, it was just to get your attention. When I saw guys confessing to you, I deliberately mess with you, so they'd misunderstand and think you were my woman. I hid your books just so I could lend you mine. I put your driver in the hospital just to have an excuse to give you a ride." Chun Zhuang recounted many of the things he had done to Song Chuching in the past. "You jerk." Song Chuching thumped Chun Zhuang's chest with her fist, then quickly pushed him down and kissed him, more passionately than ever before. The next day, Song and Chun walked down the stairs arm in arm, like a couple in the throes of passion. Song Chuching had an uncontrollable smile of happiness on her face. Seeing the couple so intimate, the elder Songs looked at each other in confusion. "Chuching, you, and Xiao Chun." Song's mother looked at her daughter, and then at Chun Zhuang. "We're great. Is something wrong?" Song Chuching said, beaming as she held onto Chun Zhuang's arm. That's good. Come on, come have breakfast." Song's mother couldn't stop grinning as she ushered them to their seats. "Mom, Dad, Zhuang, and I are going to the hospital to see Grandma today." Song Chuching put down her chopsticks, pulled out a tissue, and gently wiped her mouth. "Is little Chin going too?" "Of course. He's Grandma's grandson-in-law. How could he not go? Hubby, isn't that right?" Song Chuching tilted her head, resting her chin on her hand as she asked Chun Zhuang, who was sitting beside her. "Naughty." Chun Zhuang reached out a finger and gently scraped the tip of Song Chuching's nose. The couple's public display of affection gave the two elders sitting across from them goosebumps, making it hard for them to even look. "Ahem, I'm done eating. I'm heading back to my room." Father Song stood up, pretending he hadn't seen a thing. "I'm finished as well." Mother Song tactfully stood up and left too. "You didn't even wipe your mouth properly." Chun Zhuang pulled out another tissue and wiped Song Chuching's mouth for her. "Grandma, Zhuang and I are here to see you." As soon as she pushed open the door to the hospital room, Song Chuching called out like a young girl. "So you actually remembered to come see Grandma?" It wasn't Song Chuching's grandmother who replied, but her cousin, Song Chuxia. "Why are you here?" The smile on Song Chuching's face vanished instantly, replaced by her usual icy female CEO demeanor. "Just because you don't visit, does that mean Grandma won't let me visit?" Song Chuxia stood up and retorted coldly. The two sisters met like enemies, and the tension in the room was explosive. "All right, that's enough, both of you." The Song family matriarch spoke up from the hospital bed to stop them. Chu-Ching, didn't you say you came with my grandson-in-law? Where is he? Grandma, I'm right here. Chen Zhuang walked into the room, carrying health supplements. Grandma, we meet again. How have you been feeling lately? Chen Zhuang walked over to the bed, sat down, and took Grandma Song's hand, showing how close they were. Upon seeing Chen Zhuang, a kindly smile immediately appeared on Grandma Song's face. I'm feeling much better. It's all thanks to the miracle doctor you hired to treat me that I could recover so quickly. 16. The truth comes out. Grandma Song gently patted Chen Zhuang's hand and spoke affectionately, as if Chen Zhuang were her actual grandson. As long as you are healthy, Grandma, I would invite a deity from the heavens themselves to help you. Hee, you cheeky brat, always so glib. But I love hearing it. Grandma Song glared playfully at Chen Zhuang, though she couldn't stop grinning. You, Song Chu-Ching walked up to the bed, looking from Grandma to Chen Zhuang. Since you got married, you've only visited me in the hospital once. Little Chen, on the other hand, comes to see me several times almost every week. The reason I recovered so quickly is that little Chen went and begged the miracle doctor, Dr. 1, several times before he agreed to come down the mountain to treat me. Which of you biological grandchildren has ever cared about me? I bet you're all just wishing I'd die sooner, so you can split up my assets. Grandma Song's face darkened as she scolded them. Grandma, what are you saying? Mom, Dad, and I all hope for your good health and longevity. How could we? Song Chu-Ching sat on the edge of the bed and took Grandma's hand, looking aggrieved. Grandma, don't blame Chu-Ching. She couldn't come to see you because she was working for the Song family legacy. It's very hard for her to manage the Song Corporation all by herself. Defending your wife so soon? Not all, Grandma. I'm just telling the truth. Just forgive Chu-Ching, okay? Chen Zhuang's effeminate mannerisms made Song Chu-Zhong and Song Chu-Xia, who were standing nearby, feel completely uncomfortable. Fine, for your sake, I'll let her off the hook. Grandma Song glared at Song Chu-Ching, then patted Chen Zhuang's hand, which she was still holding. Grandma, don't be fooled by the two of them. Song Chu-Ching hasn't been managing the company properly at all. That batch of goods we were preparing to export overseas has serious quality issues, causing the company severe losses. Furthermore, the delivery deadline is approaching, and she still hasn't found a solution. We had intended to use this opportunity to capture the overseas market in one go. But with her messing things up like this, our chances in the overseas market are completely ruined. Song Chu-Xia hurriedly stepped forward, pulled Song Chu-Ching aside, and spoke up. Song Chu-Xia, I'm resolving it. Who said I couldn't deliver on time? Grandma is just feeling better. Let's discuss company matters back at the office. Don't upset Grandma. Song Chu-Ching stood up and glared at Song Chu-Xia. What's the matter? Are you afraid that if Grandma finds out, you won't be able to keep your position as president? Song Chu-Xia leaned in close to Song Chu-Ching's ear and whispered. Second Miss Song, I've already helped my wife resolve this matter, so there is no need for you to worry. Also, as to why there were quality issues with this batch of goods, you should be the one who knows best, shouldn't you? Chen Zhuang also stood up, standing alongside Song Chu-Ching to confront Song Chu-Xia. You, what do you mean? Song Chu-Ching has been responsible for this collaborative project all along. How would I know? Song Chu-Xia's eyes darted around evasively. I originally planned to go back to the company after visiting Grandma today to talk to you, but since you're in such a rush, we might as well clear things up right here in front of Grandma. Saying this, Chen Zhuang took out his phone and dialed a number. Bring all the documents to the hospital. After speaking, Chen Zhuang hung up the phone. Zhuang, what documents? Song Chu-Ching asked in a low voice. You'll know in a moment. I won't let anyone bully you, except me. You're so annoying. Chen Zhuang took Song Chu-Ching's hand and patted it gently, not forgetting to tease her again. Their actions made Song Chu-Xia grit her teeth in anger. Not long after, a man walked into Grandma Song's hospital ward. Young master, madam. Old Madam Song. The newcomer nodded politely to the three of them. He completely ignored Song Chu-Xia, who was standing to the side. This made Song Chu-Xia furious once again. Young master, inside here is the evidence that someone replaced the Song Corporation's raw materials. Hearing the man's words, Song Chu-Xia's legs went weak, and she almost lost her balance. Grandma, for her own selfish desires, Song Chu-Xia didn't hesitate to harm the company's interests. She colluded with upstream suppliers to swap out the company's original raw materials, causing quality issues with the products. Here is all the evidence of her crimes. Chen Zhuang glanced at the pale-faced Song Chuxia, took the documents out of the file bag, and handed them to Grandma Song on the hospital bed. Grandma Song put on her reading glasses, took the documents from Chen Zhuang, and looked through them carefully. Grandma, don't listen to his nonsense. I didn't. Song Chuxia lunged forward, denying it with a look of terror on her face. You're still quibbling? The records of the transactions you instructed your uncle to make with the suppliers, as well as the call and chat logs, are all here. What else do you have to say? Your uncle's confession is here too. Do you want me to bring him here to confront you? Grandma Song shook off Song Chuxia and threw the documents in her hand at her. Hearing Grandma Song's words, Song Chuxia finally seemed to lose all strength and slumped onto the floor. Song Chuxia, how could you do such a thing? The Song group isn't just mine. It's yours too. How could you do something that harms others as well as yourself? Song Chuxing picked up the documents from the floor, glanced at them, and said angrily, Grandma, Chuxing, you don't need to worry. I've already built a factory in Guangdong province. They are working overtime to rush production, and we will definitely deliver the goods on time. Chen Zhuang comforted the two of them. How did you know all of this? Song Chuxing turned back and looked up and down at her husband, who usually seemed idle and good for nothing, with suspicion. Blame it on her uncle being too greedy. He took kickbacks from the suppliers, but didn't think it was enough, so he sold the qualified raw materials to my company at a low price. So, I had someone investigate him, and I didn't expect to find such a surprise. Chen Zhuang explained, looking down at Song Chuxia on the floor. But I had people check the warehouse, and the raw materials were all qualified. Dummy, the people you sent had long been bought off by her. Chen Zhuang gently pinched Song Chuxing's cheek and smiled. Chen Zhuang, I'll kill you. Song Chuxia, who was slumped on the floor, suddenly jumped up and lunged at Chen Zhuang, but was blocked by Chen Zhuang's man behind her. Chuxia, even now, you show no remorse. Grandma Song scolded angrily. Since Xiao Chan has resolved the company's crisis, I don't want to pursue legal responsibility against you. However, from today on, your branch of the family will leave the company. Go back and tell your father to hand over the 20% of the company's shares he holds and go home. Otherwise, don't blame me for placing righteousness above family. Take her out. After saying this, Grandma Song gave Song Chuxia no chance to argue. She waved her hand and had her dragged out of the ward. Grandma, you can't treat me like this. I'm your granddaughter too. Grandma. Song Chuxia's hysterical screams echoed from the hallway. Chuxing, Xiaochun, come here. Grandma. The two walked to the bedside again and sat down. Grandma Song took a document out of the drawer next to her. This is the share transfer agreement for the shares I hold. Sign it, and it's yours. Grandma Song handed the document to Song Chuxing with a kindly face. Grandma, I don't want it. When you get out of the hospital, the company still needs you to take charge. Song Chuxing declined. Grandma is old. It's time to hand over power to you. Do you want these old bones of mine to keep making money for you? Sign it. Grandma Song opened the document and handed a pen to Song Chuxing. Grandma. Chuxing, listen to Grandma. Chen Zhuang spoke up. Grandma, I promise I will protect the Song family legacy for you. Song Chuxing took the pen and vowed. Grandma believes in you. Song Chuxing nodded and signed her name on the document. Chuxing, Grandma hopes you will agree to one condition. Grandma, tell me. I'll do whatever you ask. Chapter 17, Family Breakup. Song Chuxing put away the document and took her grandmother's hand. Although your second uncle's family has crooked hearts, they're still Song family members after all, my son and granddaughter. I have already kicked their family out of the company. I hope you won't drive them to total ruin in the future. Leave them a way out, okay? Grandma Song said with a pleading tone. Grandma. Song Chuxing threw herself into Grandma Song's embrace. As long as the Song Corporation stands, the remaining shares in second uncle's hands will always be his, Song Chuxing promised while holding Grandma Song. Grandma believes in you. Grandma Song helped Song Chuxing up from her embrace and looked at Chen Zhuang. Little Chen, this old woman should probably address you as young Master Chen now, shouldn't I? Grandma, no matter when, I will always be your grandson-in-law, Chen Zhuang laughed. It seems I guessed correctly. You are indeed the heir to the Lin family of Shanjing. Yes, Grandma. I already was before I married Chu Qing. Chen Zhuang stopped hiding it and spoke frankly. Song Chu Qing looked up at Chen Zhuang and blinked her charming, big eyes. Chen Zhuang smiled and patted her head. The Lin family is one of the top enterprises in the country, with industries spanning over 70 countries worldwide. For our Song family to be related to the Lin family by marriage, we are truly climbing the social ladder, Grandma Song said with a nod. Grandma, what are you saying? Being able to marry Chu Qing. I'm the one who's climbing the ladder. At least you're sensible. Song Chu Qing shyly hugged Chen Zhuang's arm. Ha. Now that the Song Corporation is in your hands, I can finally give an account to your late grandfather. All right, you two go back. Go busy yourselves with your affairs. Grandma Song was particularly happy today. A heavy stone in her heart had finally landed safely. All right then, Grandma. We'll come to see you again in a few days. Go on. I'm tired. The two held hands and walked out of Grandma Song's hospital ward. You broke it. Do you still want children in the future? Once inside the elevator, Song Chu Qing punched Chen Zhuang in the lower body with her small fist. Better if it's broken. You've actually been lying to me all this time. Song Chu Qing threw off Chen Zhuang's hand and rolled her eyes at him. What did I lie to you about? About Song Chu Xia and the fact that you are the heir to the Lin family. Why didn't you tell me any of this? Song Chu Qing grabbed Chen Zhuang by the tie and questioned him. You have a nerve to lecture me? Why didn't you tell me when something this big happened at the company? Have you never considered me your husband? I haven't. Well, the fault lies with you anyway. Tonight, your punishment is to take the initiative, Chen Zhuang said shamelessly, crossing his arms. You dirty rogue. Go pay the bill. Why are you just sitting there like a fool? Today, the Songchen couple was eating at a couple's restaurant. After finishing the meal, Chen Zhuang rolled his eyes and spoke. Chen Zhuang, you bastard. You were the one who asked me out to eat today, and you actually want me to pay. The nice romantic atmosphere was instantly ruined by Chen Zhuang's words, putting Song Chu Qing in a bad mood. I'm married into your family, which means I'm the bride's side. How can you have a nerve to make the bride's side pay? If you couldn't afford to marry a husband, you shouldn't have provoked me back then. Chen Zhuang picked his teeth, looking like a total ruffian. Fine, then I won't take a husband anymore. I want to marry you, Song Chu Qing said, slamming the table. In your next life, you have no chance in this one. Remember to pay the bill. After Chen Zhuang finished speaking, he got up and walked out of the restaurant. I'm the woman here. Why does this jerk always steal my lines? Song Chu Qing grabbed her bag, stomped her foot, and went to the cashier. Hurry, we're going to the west suburbs. Just coming out of the restaurant, Song Chu Qing wanted to curse that bastard Chen Zhuang a few more times. But before she could open her mouth, he pulled her into the car. What's wrong? Seeing the solemn look on Chen Zhuang's face, Song Chu Qing's anger vanished. Mom's ashes have been found. Where? In the west suburbs. Song Chu Qing slammed on the gas pedal and sped towards the west suburbs. The car stopped outside an abandoned factory. Chen Zhuang pushed the door open and rushed inside. Song Chu Qing hurriedly followed. Young master. Seeing Chen Zhuang arrive, several bodyguards in black rushed over to greet him. Where did you find it? Are you sure these are my mom's ashes? Seeing the funerary urn in the bodyguard's hands, Chen Zhuang's eyes suddenly turned red as he gently accepted the urn. We can confirm they belong to the madam. We've been tracking Cheng Guodong for several days, and just now, we heard him personally admit that these are the madam's ashes. Her ashes were hidden by her in that power distribution box over there. The bodyguard pointed to a distribution box in the distance. Chen Guodong. A fierce look appeared on Chen Zhuang's face as he shouted Chen Guodong's name, syllable by syllable. Zhuang, are these really Mom's ashes? Song Chu Qing came up beside him and asked softly. Chen Zhuang nodded. Tell our men to start the operation. Yes, young master. The bodyguard acknowledged and quickly departed. Zhuang, let's go home first. Song Chu Qing supported Chen Zhuang as they walked back to the car. Chen Zhuang kept his head down, stroking the funerary urn in his arms. Zhuang, don't be so sad. Mom wouldn't want to see you like this. 18 years. Mom, I've finally found you. Chen Zhuang muttered to himself. Song Chuqing extended her arms and embraced Chen Zhuang. Bastard! That bastard Chen Zhuang took his mother's ashes. I knew it. That's why he kept stalling for time. When Chen Guodong learned the ashes were missing, he immediately realized Chen Zhuang had taken them. He paced back and forth in the house, fuming. What are we going to do now? If we don't find funding soon, the company really won't be able to hold on. Mrs. Chen was also pacing around anxiously. We have no choice but to transfer the project to someone else. Although we'll lose our previous investment, at least the Chen family business won't go bankrupt. Chen Guodong collapsed onto the sofa. Dad, Mom, I found a solution for the company's funding problem. Chen Ziyu ran into the house excitedly. Do you really have a way? 18. The fall of the Chen family. Mrs. Chen hurriedly grabbed her son's hand, asking as if clutching at a straw. Really? I'm not lying to you. What is it? Tell us quickly. Dad, Mom, do you remember a few days ago when I saved a girl who was being harassed by thugs at a bar? I think I recall something like that, Mrs. Chen said, frowning as she remembered. Did you know that girl is Master Hu's daughter? What? Hearing Chen Ziyu's words, Chen Guodong shot up from the sofa. You mean Master Hu, the underground emperor of Guang province? Chen Guodong replied. Yes, that's him. I explained our family situation, and his daughter took me to see her father, Master Hu. He agreed to help us. His money isn't easy to take. How much interest does he want? Chen Guodong sat back down on the sofa. I saved his daughter's life. How could he ask me for interest? Master Hu promised me. Not a single cent of interest. Is what you're saying true? Absolutely true, Chen Ziyu said triumphantly. However, Master Hu said that while he can lend us the money interest-free, we need to put up collateral, Chen Ziyu added cautiously. That is only natural. After all, we need tens of millions, not just a few 100,000. It's only right to provide collateral. But what do we have to offer as collateral now? Chen Guodong thought for a moment and looked troubled again. Dad, your shares in the Chen Corporation and our villa, wouldn't those work? Chen Ziyu hurriedly stepped forward to suggest. This, Dad, as long as we successfully complete and deliver this order, the profit will triple. Don't hesitate. Once we make the money and pay Master Hu back, the shares in the house will still be ours. Chen Guodong hesitated, but Chen Ziyu stepped forward to persuade him. He's right. Old Chen, we can't count on that little beast anymore, and the banks won't lend to us. You finally found a way out. Do you want to miss this chance? If the company goes bankrupt, do you want our whole family to starve with you? Mrs. Chen also stepped forward to persuade him. All right, it's decided then. Contact Master Hu as soon as possible. Okay, Dad. Chen Ziyu agreed and ran out of the house. With Chen Ziyu pulling the strings, Chen Guodong successfully exchanged his shares in the house for 50 million in funding. To speed up production, Chen Ziyu went everywhere purchasing raw materials. You must be President Chen of the Chen Corporation. Did you bring the money? Chen Ziyu had an appointment with a supplier today, and the price was 10% cheaper than elsewhere. Where are my goods? Being called President Chen made Chen Ziyu incredibly happy. He straightened his clothes and held his head high. They're all in the warehouse. I'll take you to inspect them. After you, President Chen. Chen Ziyu strode into the warehouse. I'll take all of these goods. Here is the payment. After inspecting the goods, Chen Ziyu took out a check and handed it to the other party. Generous of you, President Chen. We'll be going then. After shaking hands, the other party left the warehouse. I knew I was much better than that piece of trash, Chen Zhuang. I saved the company a bundle this time. Chen Ziyu muttered proudly to himself. 3 months later, President Chen, bad news. The partners called to say all the products we delivered are defective. Some partners are already downstairs at the office. What? How could this happen? Chen Guodong's secretary rushed into the office to deliver the shocking news. President Chen, the 3-month deadline is up. It's time to repay the loan today. Just then, Master Hu barged into Chen Guodong's office with a gang of fierce-looking henchmen. Master Hu. Chen Guodong hurriedly went to greet him, bowing and scraping. Master Hu, can you give me a few days of grace? The company. Save it. I saw everything. Your products have issues, and the partners are downstairs waiting for an explanation. You're likely facing a lot of penalty fees this time. So I assume you won't be able to pay back my 50 million either, right? Master Hu bluntly exposed the current state of the Chun family. President Chun, I've been more than benevolent. Your son saved my daughter, so I lent you 50 million without charging a cent of interest. Since you can't come up with the money, the Chun family shares, your villa, and your cars are now mine. I came today to notify you to leave the Chun company immediately and move out of my villa. I'll give you 1 day. Having said that, Master Hu stood up to leave. Master Hu, Master Hu. Chun Guodong tried to chase after him, but was blocked by Master Hu's henchmen. It's over. It's all over. Chun Guodong slumped onto the floor. Young Master Chun, this is 30% of the Chun family shares. It belongs to you now. Master Hu respectfully handed the documents to Chun Zuong. Thank you for this, Master Hu. How are things with the Chun family's partners? You are too polite, young Master Chun. I have already made arrangements regarding those partners. You need not worry. Chun Zuong took the share documents from Master Hu. In the future, the Lin family's investments in Guangdong province will certainly not forget your share, Master Hu. Chun Zuong stood up and patted Master Hu on the shoulder. Many thanks, young Master Chun. Take care, young Master Chun. Chun Zuong put away the shares and left Master Hu's office. It turned out this was all a trap set by Chun Zuong. Master Hu's daughter being harassed by thugs was a lure for Chun Ziyu. The person who sold Chun Ziyu the raw materials worked for Chun Zuong, and those materials were the same substandard batch that Song Chuxia had previously used to frame Song Chuqing. Isn't this a bit too cruel? They are your family. After all, now that they are living on the streets, don't you feel any heartache for them? Song Chuqing said while curled up in Chun Zuong's arms on the sofa. Some people are not worth sympathizing with. Chun Zuong replied indifferently. Did you stay in Guangdong and delay returning to the capital just to retrieve your mother's ashes? Amen. Chen Zuong gently caressed Song Chuqing's cheek. Then I should thank the Chen family, otherwise I might have missed meeting you. Song Chuqing looked up and planted a soft kiss on Chun Zuong's face. Miss, sir, the Chen family is outside and wants to see you. Just as the two were being affectionate, a servant walked in. What do you plan to do? I'll go see them. Chun Zuong stood up and left the room. Big brother, you're finally willing to see us. Xiao Chun, and he was wrong before. I apologize to you. Please forgive us. Chapter 19. The Arrival of a New Life. Madame Song, wearing tattered clothes, stood at the bottom of the steps with her 2 children, looking pitiful. I no longer have any relationship with you all. I stopped caring about the past long ago. You don't need to apologize to me. Chun Zuong looked down at the 3 of them and replied indifferently. Zuong, the Chen family is bankrupt. Your father has cancer too. For the sake of us being a family, please help us. Auntie is begging you. Saying this, the 3 of them knelt together before Chun Zuong. I knew it. I was wondering why he didn't come. Is he not dead yet? Chun Zuong asked with his hands in his pockets. Zuong, how can you curse your father like that? Is he worthy? Chen Zuong retorted. Since he isn't dead yet, aren't you here a bit early? Come report the death to me after he dies. When that happens, I won't go in person, but I'll make sure a funeral wreath is delivered. Leave. Do not appear in front of me ever again. After saying this, Chun Zuong turned to go back into the house. Chun Zuong, you can't treat us like this. We are your family. Chun Zuong, you animal. You don't even care if your own father lives or dies. Are you even human? Behind him came the hysterical cursing of Chun Ziyu. Kick them out. If you see them again, beat them off the property immediately. Yes, sir. Chun Zuong didn't give him another thought. After instructing the bodyguard, he returned to the room. Are they gone? Seeing Chun Zuong return, Song Chuqing walked over, took his arm, and led him back to the sofa to sit down. Yeah, they're gone. No one can disturb us ever again. Ugh, ugh. Chun Zuong's hand had just touched Song Chuqing's cheek when she suddenly started retching. Chun Zuong thought he might have something dirty on his hand and hurriedly brought it to his nose to sniff. There's nothing there. What's wrong? Did you eat something bad? Chun Zuong hurriedly patted Song Chuqing's back gently. Go pour me a glass of water. Okay, okay. Chun Zuong scrambled to pour the water. Seeing Chun Zuong's anxious look, a mischievous smile appeared on Song Chuqing's face. I don't believe you'll be the one bossing me around anymore. This seemed to be the first time Song Chuqing had ever bossed Chun Zuong around. Here's the water. Song Chuching took the glass, took a sip, and placed it on the table. Are you okay? Chen Zhuang asked with concern. Oomph. It's all your fault. Song Chuching bit her lip lightly and punched Chen Zhuang, acting shy and coquettish. Me? Chen Zhuang asked in confusion, pointing at himself. You dummy. You're going to be a daddy. Song Chuching poked Chen Zhuang's forehead with a finger, then wrapped her arms around his neck and smiled. What? You're pregnant? Chen Zhuang hurriedly looked down at Song Chuching's abdomen, his face filled with unconcealable joy. I just went and tested. Song Chuching kissed Chen Zhuang on the cheek and spoke happily. Honey, you're amazing. Oh no, does that mean I have to live like a monk for 10 months? Chen Zhuang pretended to look aggrieved. No way, I'll have to go out and forage for food during these 10 months. You dare. If you dare go out and mess around, I'll castrate it. As soon as Chen Zhuang finished speaking, Song Chuching grabbed Chen Zhuang's manhood with precision and threatened him. Ow, ow, let go quick. Chen Zhuang cried out in pain and hurriedly begged for mercy. Oomph. Song Chuching snorted coldly before finally letting go. Then what am I supposed to do from now on? Chen Zhuang turned Song Chuching's face toward him and spoke pitifully. Hold it in. I'm a normal man. I can't hold it in. How about from now on? Chen Zhuang's gaze slowly shifted to Song Chuching's small, cherry-like mouth. Don't even think about it. Song Chuching suddenly realized what he meant. She pushed away Chen Zhuang's hands holding her cheeks and hurriedly covered her mouth with her hand. Then use your hands. Come on. Saying that, Chen Zhuang pushed Song Chuching down onto the sofa. Giggle. No way. Get off me. You're annoying. Stop it. Giggle. A string of Song Chuching's coquettish and shy sounds rang out in the living room.